recording.
Nice. Look at us, all pre-recorded and stuff.
Marcus just rolled a 20. He would have had a
That's
really
cool.
great show.
You would have had probably.
Oh, you guys missed.
You would have had a really good something. Oh, it could have been anything.
Hold the rest of that for.
Yeah, just go ahead and
Good
keep
news,
that.
my spells will be prepped ahead of time.
Oh
for
yeah,
next
well watch
week.
this. 17. That would have been probably bad for you guys.
14.
3.
That's normal.
By our powers combined, that's also a 20.
That's about right.
As soon as the game
would
starts,
have
I
been
knew
a
this
normal
was...
day for Brett.
Okay.
Alright.
This was,
Alright.
I had like 3 natural
I did it.
20s when I was pre-rolling this thing.
Yeah.
Have you
As soon as
considered
somebody's- it's
not
either,
doing
like,
that
before
and
you
just
decide.
letting them ride until you actually start rolling
That's
dice for
not how the
something?
math works.
Is it
Statistically,
not?
that's still not how it works. It's always 1 out of 20. What, time, air, the AC? What's different?
You wasted the 320s. Is what's
That's
different.
not how that works.
It's like-
My mom will do that when we're playing our family game of D&D online. She'll say that she's warming up the dice for a roll, and she'll just keep rolling it, and then eventually when she gets a high enough one, she'll tell my dad that's what she rolled.
I mean, that's like when you get high.
That's
She's like,
called-
no, I'm warming it up.
That's why when you.
That's called cheating.
Well,
She'll also be doing it for like 5 minutes ahead of whatever she's gonna be asked to roll. Like, she's just going.
Well, it's like when you get a high-end, like gold-plated dice, you have to roll it like 1,000 times to really break it in, so like you can like get like the extreme optimized.
the gold is settled.
Do you
Yes.
have a high-end gold-plated die?
This is purple-plated.
You said
That's
gold.
not a material.
Yeah, but that's why I don't.
We
That's
just
why I'm
need
not.
color
Rolling
code
all
it.
of them because I don't have
This is
the
just
ones that
plastic. This
require
is just the
break-in.
strange Aeons dice.
break-in
I got
period.
that.
Paizo. So,
I
yeah.
bought that.
Yeah. I have that one.
I gave him dice
I
that
have
kills
the
me.
Age of Ashes
That
one.
one's not fun either.
I have the Pathfinder 2nd edition
one's
one.
bad.
Look, that
They're
came
all
out
bad.
early. This one hates you guys. This is the one that kills people. The
Yeah,
Pathfinder
'cause
2nd
nobody was
edition die
watching.
hates all of you.
Hasn't killed me
Everybody,
yet.
look
I'm
away!
still here.
You literally killed Eleonora.
I got a better character out of that.
Look
die.
at it.
Those
I'm gonna be
dice
honest
do
with you.
just genuinely roll higher than anything else in the room. Because I remember, it, like
You've been
running-
over here.
Yeah, no,
You've
running the
tasted-
levelance, there's sometimes
you've
where it's just
tasted of
like,
the second
I
edition
actually,
D20.
like, I feel bad. I don't even know if I should read this out at this point.
Yeah, I think we've.
How bad is it?
I don't know. We're just kind of going right now. This is the show, the video that we can make when we don't have internet video, which is just kind of going to be. I mean, the idea was to.
Everybody...
Yes,
no, they get a high five.
That got pretty loud probably for them.
No,
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
The spirit
idea.
is there.
Well, so we're going to talk about Strange Aeons so far because when we have this Chapter 3 finale, it's going to mark the halfway point of the campaign. It is the end of Book 3 of 6. We are 1/2 of the way through this story, and it has been like 2 years. One of those is just Chapter 3. Every time I run an adventure path, they just get more extensive. We just get more into RP. I just add more things into them. And they just get more and more elaborate because the first one I ever ran, Skull and Shackles, was like a year and a half for 6 books. And then we did, I think was War for the Crown the second adventure path I ever ran? I think it might have been. I think we went right into War for the Crown. Right around 2 years. Then we had Age of Ashes. A bit over 2 years. And now we're at the 2-year mark and we're in book 3. So
How long was your first one for Strange Aeons?
oh, and that was what was after Soul and Shackles. Obviously, it was Strange Aeons 1. I don't remember actually.
Lost the time.
I'm also kind of guessing on Strange Aeons or Skull and Shackles because those both OG Strange Aeons and Skull and Shackles were so long ago that I truly do not remember exactly how long they were. These were just in the era where I was streaming our Roll20 window, and I was the face cam because this was just a part of my personal stream. It was just every Wednesday or whatever, the stream would just be Pathfinder, and it wasn't any different from my normal stuff. It still had my normal like sub notifiers and everything on there. It's just I was screen capping a Roll20 window, hanging out in not Discord. This is pre-Discord, hanging out in like Skype with the fellas. So, like, it's
Oh my gosh.
old.
Oh.
This is old content. It was a long time ago. We weren't on a podcast. We never contracted with Paizo. So we were just like playing bangers from the stream playlist. I was pulling like Dragon's Dogma music in there. Like we had some Dark Souls boss fights going on.
Gosh.
I was like, we were just wilding. It was the Wild West Twitch stream era. very different from what it is today.
Yeah.
Quality in the toilet. But you know,
You were free to do whatever
but we
you
were
wanted.
there. We were unrestrained by
free.
law and rule.
Pirates.
Boots on the ground, man. We're doing it.
But no, I don't know how long the first Strange Aeons run was.
I went back, and I can't remember why at this point. I was probably looking for a clip or something, but I went back and, like, saw the beginning of the first Aeons episode. It just made me forget that we didn't even have costumes when we walked up.
You
to
had the
first
smocks.
show. We just had, we had, you don't know this, we had little patient smocks, like we were,
I lost
like,
mine
because we were in the
immediately.
asylum.
That is so cool.
And we
Brett-
didn't have costumes because we did. Was this ever? We didn't know.
You didn't know who you were.
Yeah, neither
We
Brett
were
nor
given blank
Marcus were
character
actually here
sheets.
for this.
Yeah.
So it's worth recapping again because it was interesting. You guys had completely blank character sheets, like she said. They were printed empty.
Fully blank.
I believe you had your core stats,
Yes.
your HP,
Yes.
and you might have had your armor class.
Yes.
I don't think you had saving throws.
No.
no.
So you had a little bit of a guess because you knew your core
Because
stats.
you had us fully convinced that I was like a half-orc barbarian because I had a 24 starting HP.
You still have those. Oh,
still have
okay.
these.
You had it, and I made you all a deck. I made you all a deck
this
of
was
cards.
like came with our thing, and it was like this.
And whenever like
those are the things you can do.
those, are, yeah,
But
you
we
did well.
couldn't flip them over yet.
Yeah, no, they were face down.
Yeah.
So like stuff
It
would
was
happen,
just-
or you try to do something, I'd be like flip ability 1.
Yeah.
Because
and
I
then
had a
would
key
be like,
sheet over
oh,
here,
looks like I have hexes.
and she would just cast something, like just kind of reactively.
Did you laminate them before the show?
They're in
They're
sleeves.
in, they're like
Those are
Magic
card
the
sleeves.
Gathering
Oh, okay.
sleeves.
They're just blank white sleeves, so I
I
could write them
kept
back
them
with
because
Sharpie.
it's been my reference still because
you
I
find
consistently
blank white
forget
sleeves?
some of like that I can
Yeah.
smell.
Is that hard?
Did you make? I don't know. I've never
No.
seen that before.
Flat color card sleeves are like they're not
A
hard to
thing.
find. Yeah, it's like
I don't know what happened to
Empathetic
mine.
plea.
Yeah, pathetic plea.
I need to use it more.
I just remember
Since we go, come on.
us that first
It's
fight we had as soon as we
literally
woke
the
up.
ability that's like
And I
having-
go up to attack someone, and like we're thinking, me and Dirt both thought like, oh yeah,
You knew
barbarian.
obviously what ancestry you were because the reason I gave them their core stats is because like that's apparent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a 6'7", massively ripped orc.
Yeah.
We know you have +4 to strength.
Yeah.
You can see that. Amnesia does not prevent you from realizing you can lift a car.
And my
like,
head is
we-
so huge and veiny, so it,
Yeah, you can like you look like Megamind. You like-
Brains.
So, like,
That's how
we-
brains work.
As soon as like we got to like pick it, because whenever we did it, AJ like described like he showed us pictures on the screen. Like, here's 3 images that we
Oh,
got
yeah,
to pick
yep.
from, and
Oh
then
my
we
gosh,
picked one and we
yeah,
gave a
dude.
brief description really quickly of the image that we gave and what
there
we
were
described.
3 different mugshots, and you could
Yes,
choose which one
there
you
were
wanted
3
to use.
sketches
Oh,
for each of them, and
each
they
of them.
each got to pick
Variations.
which one they wanted
So,
to keep.
One of Cammy's had a pixie cut,
Yeah,
and then
because we
I
got
can't remember the other one.
Right.
Uzis.
I honestly, I forgot we had multiple arts. I wonder if those
Yeah.
are still on the computer somewhere. Probably not here.
I remember
But-
I had told Bryn like a week ahead of time which ones I thought were mine. I was wrong.
Yeah, we did as a teaser. I don't even know if it had context. The sign that was the 10-minute break scene for book 1 and 2, that was the sign just kind of swinging in the wind. All of the posters on that were the 15
Yes.
sketches.
Yeah.
And I put that up with basically no context. But looking at that, you could kind of put together that it was 3 groups of 3 because there's like very obviously like there's 3 orcs. There's 3 hobgoblins. That one's very visible.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna get my manila
If you
folder
ever
to
played
show Bryn.
Connections, you can figure it out.
Yeah, we're playing the New York Times Connections on a wanted
But, like,
bounty board.
So like we got to like he went through us one at a time, pulled that
Oh my
up, and
God.
told us to pick a picture and then describe ourselves based off that picture.
Uh-huh. You made your characters on the spot.
On the
Like,
spot.
improv. That's improv right
See,
there.
there's Mock still.
No, that's my lab coat. Remember, I had
Oh,
a
yeah,
lab coat for
oh.
all of season 1.
That's
I had a dirtied up. It's literally brown.
Right,
I,
oh, right, 'cause
soaked
you-
it in tea. And then
Yeah,
ink
you made it
on
gross because you found it in like a rundown asylum.
No,
Yeah.
that's
I
commitment.
had a lab.
And then you
coat
stopped
for
being
the
a doctor.
whole of-
She's still a doctor.
No,
I'm
never-
still a doctor.
You never learned your
How did you
PhD.
lose your doctor?
That's right. You go through phases of being a doctor. The only ones that wear the lab coats are like the newbie baby doctors who still feel like they have to assert themselves as a doctor, so they wear the
dude.
lab coat. Then you go to the dude who's been tenured for like 45 years. He's just in blue jeans and a screen printed T-shirt.
Right.
Like that's
When he wears
took
a
it
lab
off in
coat, it's
the
because he
bar
wants to wear
at-
it.
I'm pretty sure you can see that whole spectrum in house.
Dude, I've known this forever.
probably.
I took it off in the bar when we first got to Thrushmoor, because everybody kept asking me questions.
I thought you were talking
And
about.
we were so nervous.
I thought you were talking about after the show one time you actually
no.
wore that to a bar. And I'm like, weren't you under the age of 21? Are you outing yourself
I
right
have
now?
never, hold on. I've never been under the age of 21 and in the city that we're in.
I've
Never been under the age of
I've never
21.
been under the age of 21.
Burst fully formed from my father's forehead.
This is, I went back there
For
to
legal
find it.
reasons, I've always
hello,
been above
there's
the age of
extra copies
21.
my sheet
Also,
there.
when AJ, because at some
This stuff
point,
was actually
like
nice.
he gave us that, and then as like we were progressing through, like in the first combat, we got into combat almost immediately.
Yeah, the adventure starts with the combat.
Or yeah, it starts with the combat, so we're like we're in
Well,
this-
there's like there's the dream. But then it
there's a
starts with the
dream,
combat.
and then there's like we're in cages, and like we're interacting, and as we're interacting,
We were in a cage.
yeah, we were in a cage, and he
We
told
didn't
me
even know.
to make a deception check, and like here's what your stat is for deception, and I got to pencil that into my character sheet of what I had because he had
It was so
he had
cool.
5
I had all of
character
them. I had
sheets.
5 character sheets in front of me, and like whenever they would do things, I would tell them what their modifier was.
I have a
And then
question.
discover if they
Are
were good
you
or
guys
not.
saying that you could have picked Cammy's character?
No,
No, they
Oh,
had their own.
you guys already
characters.
had your characters like already
he already had our characters
Personalities
made
before
for
the
us.
game started. You were like, okay, you
We
could-
had like we were
Okay.
told to come up with ideas for personality, but anything stats wise, AJ designed for us.
got it.
And then we
So
based-
he like tried to make some, which also I had never played outside of the baby's first Pathfinder one shot, which then went to time.
Gone
that was
to the
like
void.
this is basically the first time I'd ever seen a sheet. Anyway, so I
And it was
like,
blank.
I was like, "That's nice. Where do you want me to write that?" like,
and no, so like we
You ran Malevolence. We didn't have a character sheet, but you at least had
that
Pathfinder
was
understanding.
after I started Aeons first.
I just realized how.
Holy
fun
crap,
would
did
be.
Aeon start before Malevolence? Oh
It
my god,
did.
it did, didn't
it
it?
did.
Aeon started
I think
before
that-
Malevolence, wow.
I think that for the entire run of Malevolence, all of the players were higher levels than Cammy was still. There might have been, it would have been close. It would have been a close overlap. But for most of Malevolence, they were either I was like just on par with the player levels or behind. So I didn't even know what happens at 6th level yet. I was like, you guys could have it though.
That's fair.
I went to get the folder because this is the.
Yours was fun.
Mine was really fun.
Yours was covered in
So
warnings
there's a
and
lot of
stuff.
stuff in there.
That you're not allowed to look at.
So
I
along
wish
with
we
the
could get
amnesia,
that clip again. That was so funny.
along with the amnesia, the blank character sheets, picking your art, obviously they didn't know anything about themselves. They woke up with no memories at all, so they didn't know their names. These folders we put together because it was like they had files. They were in an asylum. It's like an asylum that functions. They've got patient files.
I had all of
Checking
them.
your documents. You have
And so when you found your patient files, I just gave you the folders. I gave
Well,
you the folders with everything in them.
that's
They had
all of
like
them.
tabs and labels and Sully's forehead.
Oh, I'm so
I'm
sorry.
swinging now. Look at me go.
I'm so sorry.
On him.
Oh no.
This entire
I got
episode
so
is going to be
excited.
hearing things
I'm
Sully's
so
done.
sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay,
Oh,
but
see how
you.
bad swinging.
Not
Oh,
bad.
I'm floating.
I'm sorry.
okay.
I'm sorry.
It's not that bad.
I'm
just like
sorry.
it's like I'm on a ship.
He's on a boat.
I might
Okay,
have to
but here's the notable
roll over
difference:
my-
is that every other person's folder had only one page, and I like him in here like flipping pages. And then was it you? Somebody was just like, "You have 2 pages." I was like,
I think Kevin said you have 2 pages.
"Yes,"
Listen,
because Kevin was sitting there. He was like, "You have 2 pages." I was like, "Do you not?" And then nobody else did. And then mine also said, "Look at this. Please do not attempt interactions alone."
She's over here panicking over hers, and then when I described to her what it says in mine, I beat up everyone who came in contact with me. Like, Rick literally
This is-
beat the crap out of anyone who entered his room because he did not know who they were.
This
And he got
is-
spooked and said,
This is in giant letters.
just like
Do
real.
not transfer from solitary board. And then this
I'm
whole
just
thing basically
saying-
talks about how like she's like this magic bomb.
Ever
Like she's like
since
nuking nurses left and right.
ever since I started, I was like, I think we're all. There's a reason why we were all chosen, but I feel like there's something more about you than
let's
like.
see.
There's some sort of key about you. I don't know what it is.
Initial observation of client proved difficult. Client lashes out with uncontrolled rage when introduced to new faces who is very overwhelmed by onboarding process.
Client was delivered unconscious.
Three orderlies required medical attention after onboarding process.
Here it is. The
Orderlies, the guys hired
The guys,
to be the muscle.
Yeah, the dudes that come in to hold people down. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 of them.
The second page
Onboard.
was just to indicate the date on which my level warning got increased. Because
you have a file. The only one has an
level
update because everyone had
Yeah.
only been in the asylum for like a week or two when everything fell apart. So you were the only one that had like updates to your
Yeah,
file, which
it
is
was
like, you know what?
approved by-
Butter and solitary.
Okay.
Dr.
Also-
Oath state, due to outbreaks of panic from clients' magical manifestations, treatment
Also
priority
give
on
us our-
controlling these outbursts.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's
I
pretty
was
cool. That's how you.
scared out of my book. I didn't let anybody read this
And
until
as-
book 2.
As soon as she
Pretty
did,
far. It was a decent way in the book too, actually.
it's
That
like
you gave me
halfway
your
through,
folder.
she like had this big moment, like, guys, I gotta show you my folder, and then all of us were like, okay, that's it. Like,
Wait, did you
it
get this?
literally says, "Don't hang out with me in here." It's like,
So you guys got this on the first episode?
Oh
No.
no!
it was
that's
no.
just we didn't even have this for the longest time.
So you
This
guys like
has our-
went through and found these
this
files
has our,
basically in the
um,
asylum.
when they eventually found like the records
real
room.
names.
I think that
We
was
didn't
like,
have a real
like
name
the
for,
episode
like,
or the episode
forever.
after I joined.
Yeah, it was like 7 or 8.
Yeah,
That's cool.
He
It's
joined.
so
Because I
cool.
joined in the files
like,
room.
we woke up, we had like nothing, like he said, nothing, a blank character sheet with no name. So like after the first combat, like we're like, well, we're gonna be together. We need names.
Yeah, that was one of the first things they did was make up names.
I was like, I'm
Cammy, she just that
Chameleon.
Greenie, who was blue at the time.
We got
Right.
Chameleon.
Blue came and find her, and she's like Chameleon.
Yeah, I think
Cammy.
I came up with everyone's
was-
names
mostly Colby, I think.
because
Mostly
I
did.
because I took the most damage during the fight. I was like, I'm not gonna call you Gnome. I'm not gonna call you Hobgoblin. I'm not gonna call you by physical description. That's rude. So.
now you don't want to be rude?
Except for we
And so-
did kind of
so,
come up with
like-
names that are just physical descriptions.
Hey,
So,
you were-
well, we like easy. We found a violin that had the initials Easy carved. in it,
Easy
so
picked his own. Easy
Yeah,
picked his.
Easy
he's
picked his.
he's like he had the violin. He's like Easy
I
because it's
said
the sound
it.
of the violin. Did
It
you
was-
say it?
It was me.
I
It's
thought it
like
was
easy
Kevin that
because you
said
have a
it.
violin that says Easy carved into it. That's literally that was all it was. I called
Trey named himself. I know
I
that
called
one.
Trey because he hit someone with a tray.
Because he picked up the tray off the table
Yeah, and
and
I
just
Yeah.
said
beat
Trey
the
because he hit
doppelganger
someone
with
with
it.
a tray.
Yeah.
I
That's
called
the
you
best
Chameleon,
one,
and we changed it to Cammy.
Yeah, I don't
And
want to be
then-
named Chameleon.
And they're like, well, what do we call you? I was like, I don't care. Mostly Des. I go MD.
But you could have been called like Chameleon Hair.
Chameleon.
Wait, so that all your guys' names live basically were created?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, episode
On the
1
spot.
almost immediately.
Guys,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
It was pretty sick.
Guys,
And-
That's how we got
pretty cool.
Cammy, MD, Easy, and Trey.
We thought
And we
for
didn't
the-
find these until like
It's probably 7 or 8.
7 or
Maybe
8
not. Maybe like
episodes
6.
After Marcus joined.
It was like the
Find your
episode after
files.
Marcus because you
I
were
thought that
you were at the
just
records
named me
room when you found
Francis
Marcus.
for a minute, and I
The
was
real,
so upset.
the real
I was
difficulty
like, that's
was
the
like
lamest
in
name.
the first episode, you guys tried to find a computer, but
Ow,
the internet
what?
was out, so you couldn't get to
Francis.
fantasynamegenerator.com, and
It's
that's
not
why you had to
actually.
use your brains to think of them.
So that's why
named
she
me
was
Brick.
initials.
She kinda looks like a
bedpan.
friend.
You're trying to fix it.
He
I
named
don't want to
me
give my name.
Brick with 2 Ks. Brick with 2
Oh,
Ks.
and then who was it?
Stonka,
Stonka.
Martin Stonka, and then Huglum.
Easy's
Martin
last name, which is pretty
Stonka.
bad.
Edelmay Francis, Brick,
Brick.
Huglum.
Huglum. Daniels.
Brick with 2 Ks is S tier. That's like I would love that one forever. It was
Welcome to fantasy.
And I think the only person who took their
No, I'm
name,
gonna
because
lie,
after we
no.
found our files and we learned our real names, like we can update, like, hey, like decide if you want to take your names, and like the only person who actually took his name was Trey.
Trey took it as a surname.
Yeah, he took it
So
as a
instead of going by
surname.
Trey Huglum, so
Yeah.
he's still Trey. But
I kind of forgot about that.
because you guys were like, I hate that. Like that's
I'm
not
good.
me.
I like
I'm
the
not.
name Edelmay actually very much. I think that that's really pretty, but it's like impossible to identify with. There's like
Yeah, it's
I
like
don't know
that's
what
not
this
my.
is.
It's a
Yeah.
different person.
Well, and
It's-
also with what was in her folder, it's like that ain't me.
No,
you got
no,
the
no.
wrong lady. That couldn't be me.
So
I don't think I even know who that is.
we fought our way through an asylum, met some nice people, met some less nice people, fought a bunch of horrible nightmares, and kept coming across the Tatterman, who would just kind of show up, Mr. X from Resident Evil 2 style, and
Chase us.
kind of force you all out of what, like, to just immediately abandon whatever you were doing. It was
Yeah, we were
He
babies.
killed our friend that we got in the basement.
He did.
He caught me when we were trying to save Administrator Lysandra. I was trying to carry her, and he showed up. And then I think EZ threw her at him after I got knocked
Oh, right,
unconscious.
because he was up top. He was up top. He
That's
threw her
true.
body
Because
down
I
off the
was carrying
railing.
her body, and we went upstairs. I was like, hold her. And I jumped down to try to distract the Tatterman, and he said, and I went down immediately.
Well, we were puny. I had,
You were like 2?
we couldn't fight.
I
you
had
got to
HP
Lysandro?
points in the single digits.
I think you were level
believe.
2 or 3 when you got to
I think we
Lysandro.
might have been 3. I've had this character sheet forever. This
Because
is
you were
level 3.
You were 2.
This is at 3. I had 29 hit points.
You fight. I'm trying to remember the names. I'm pretty sure it's Outstay. Is like
Outstay
the
is in
level
the
1
thing.
boss. Because that gives you 2, and that's what when Winter agrees to let you in. Is after you've.
We might have been just 2. Yeah.
I think you might have been 2.
Because we did that, and then we did
Because then you had
eyeball.
the entryway
Yeah.
and the hallway pretty much goes straight back to Lysandra's office.
Yeah. We didn't divert. We
So I
literally
think
went
you
straight
were
back,
2 when you met. Well, found. I don't know if met's inappropriate.
Yeah.
It's probably word for Administrator Lysandro. Found Lysandro, and then that was the first time the Tatterman showed up.
Second.
Well, he was in the dream.
He
that
showed up
Well,
in
I'm
the
not counting the
dream,
dream. Like the
and
first time he showed up in
before
the
we were
asylum.
let back in too. And before we were let back.
Oh, he showed up right after Oats Day.
Yeah,
That's
he
right.
showed
Right
up because
after
we went
Oats Day,
down
he
to the
showed up.
basement to go get Contra or whatever
Because
his name
Kevin
was.
put himself back in the cage.
Because
Sad.
we went
Didn't
to
he?
go
Wasn't
hide.
that-
Yeah, because they went upstairs with our friend from the basement that we saved, and he showed up at the door. So they came back down the chute. They're like, we gotta hide. So I remember I took Cammy and shoved her underneath.
Yeah,
all
you
the
shoved her in the pile of
bodies, and he
corpses.
told her
just
to
hide
roll
her.
a stealth and me to roll a deception. I just dropped a 20. And he told her, don't worry about it.
Historically a good thing, because that has not really increased since that day.
Like every time we ran into the Tattered Man, it wasn't a fight. It was like a skill check because we couldn't fight him.
You absolutely could not fight him. No, he was
A boss.
he is a big scary man.
Mm-hmm.
He is the slasher villain. I like book 1. It's set up with all these different
Book one
kinds of
was so
horror. You have the whole collapsed asylum. You have horrible nightmarish creatures. You've just got there's some just regular ghouls in there. You have the slasher
Just a
villain
regular
thing
ghoul.
going on. You had
Contrary to popular belief,
Clades.
he did not start off as a ghoul.
He started off as a dwarf.
What?
He didn't start as
He was a regular dwarf. He was a dwarf ranger at the
just
start
a
of the
Right, yeah, no, I
campaign.
knew that.
And that happened after he joined us.
That makes the intro
Because-
so
What did he
hard
do?
when I have
Get,
to
like,
say
he-
I'm just a regular.
What
We
did
got
he
killed
do?
by
You
the
got
Tattered
bit?
Man.
Yeah, we had
Oh, the
a-
Tatterman cursed him with that or something?
He
Or?
He
got
got
bit by a ghoul.
Killed by Clades.
He got
Uh,
bit by a ghoul.
in the
three
turf
different
war.
answers.
he got
it
bit
was-
by, he got attacked by Clades, and then you had the immediately progress to the end through Tatterman kill scene. Because
Oh.
he had the dream where he got dragged down into the lake. I remember this.
That's right. That's right.
Sometimes it's
I knew it was
Wait,
Clades
so
that
he
bit him.
died?
Yeah. Because he ran away from Cammy.
I remember because you kept he was getting hard targeted by Glance, and I remember you saying after the episode, it's just I needed you to take that, just sit down.
I don't remember if we talked about it, but this was
It's so
sort of
brutal.
planned because you did ask me hey, you cool if I give you a thing, and I'm like, yeah, sure,
This
whatever.
thing is
whatever you
that
want.
thing is-
Well, the thing is, at
Mid-game, I gotta kill you first.
Level 1, at the end, when they hit level 2, I gave them their full character sheets. So it revealed everything that hadn't come up. They saw all their numbers. And they thought to themselves, okay, cool. Now my destiny is in my own hands. I know what my character is. And then they found out about the free archetype rules. Because they got slapped with more at level 2.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's
because
right.
they,
Not
you
lay on hands.
pulled out
Not
lay
lay
on
on
hands. And stuff just came out of nowhere. Trey pulled out that aura.
I pulled
You
out nothing.
never triggered yours.
You didn't give him until the boss fight.
It was a while.
The finale.
You didn't get yours for a while. It was the end when you finally got your catharsis reaction.
No, blame it on me.
And I don't remember what the first thing in Celebrity is. Kevin had Celebrity, but I don't remember what
Hey,
the...
y'all watch this. I don't know.
It was the
Skill check one, I think.
You could replicate somebody's performance.
yeah,
you could do
if
it better.
someone fails a skill check.
That's
you
what it
can-
was. Yeah, someone fails a skill check. You one-up them. Yeah, and you
Yeah.
one-up them, and then they...
Mm-hmm.
The absolute best skill that we used a lot. I
It
feel
was
like.
Yeah, we did that one a lot.
really funny. But they all got the free archetype thing. So when Marcus joined the campaign, which was still pretty early, it was level 2 or 3, Well, Marcus joined in. But 3, I think, when
Probably
you joined.
3. I don't think it was at 2.
Everybody had free archetype, and I could have just said, like, yeah, you give free archetype also if you want to pick that. But, in Strange Aeon Spirit, I gotta slap him with his free archetype, which was Ghoul, was what I decided on. So I'm just like, that fight was really just Clayton's chasing around like, take your archetype, dang it!
When you're trying to give a pet a pill, you're like, you're gonna swallow it.
Dude, I found my
hold his
gun
mouth
in the
closed.
asylum.
Like,
I forgot about that.
It's like
The
there's
gun
part
was
of
in
the Clay's
the
fight.
asylum.
That's a funny sentence to say.
Like there's,
I put my gun in the office.
It was. It was in.
it was in your things, yeah.
It was in.
the gun and your crippling pest addiction.
Oh,
in the same box.
So
Crippling
yeah,
what
because
addiction?
it's. Oh, we found the solitary
Drugs.
ward, and I still hadn't told them that that's where I was.
Uh-huh.
And so I locked myself in there, and there was a secret chest, a magic chest that you opened up, and it just looked like real, and then there was a ton of drugs and a gun in there.
Can't be
And so after
stashed.
they think it's just I'm an issue. I can't everybody else seems really chill, and I seem like I'm gonna be a problem.
The question that I'm glad nobody ever asked, because I didn't have a great
Are you
answer
sure
for
you're
it.
not the detective? Like a sad detective?
Wow,
That sounds like a
how
sad
we got in
detective.
Yeah, how did it get in there? Because she had a box with a gun and drugs, and her report specifies she was delivered unconscious. How did she get it in there?
This little guy.
Greeny!
Blue. Sorry, blue.
Blue,
was
blue.
blue.
Sorry,
He was
blue.
blue when
Wasn't
he
greeny.
started.
Okay, what do we know about Greeny?
He's a familiar.
Not enough.
That's it?
We
So
know he's
It's
a
just
started-
a familiar.
He's a familiar. Blue showed up immediately. Like when
He's in my hair.
Put
He
my
was-
hand
he
on
was
her
in your
head
hair.
and got attacked.
Yeah, you touched her on the head and a lizard bit you. And
Which is what usually happens.
this is
Yes.
normal, yeah,
That
Is
happens all
this
the
like your patron or something like that?
So my patron, we've since figured out, is the doll. But we don't really know anything about that or her, except for I think Marcus saw her one time. And that's but we didn't even know that until this book. We found out that it's the doll. And we just know that I have a familiar.
That's
And
it.
that's literally about it.
And that thing's been protecting you this whole time.
Yes.
And it communicates with you.
And
Very-
it died once. And then was born again.
He was very sad.
It was his name was
then-
Blue, and he was a blue chameleon.
It'll
Right.
be going down the,
Did you
the rainbow.
Did you really have it as a blue chameleon? Like, did you
I
paint
didn't
it?
get the prop one
the
until...
prop didn't come till after he had been
find a
unceremoniously
green one.
stomped on.
Well, once
Like
he
it's-
had died, it was a little bit after he died. I was like, oh, I should get. Actually, no, it was. I think it was for book 3.
You're thinking about it before Blue died. You wanted to go and say I can paint
Yeah.
him blue, and then he died. Like, well, that
It was
now
a
he's
good
green.
time to get a lizard.
And the way
Yeah.
the familiar works is you can just cast to resummon it
So
if it dies.
we played it like he had a funeral. Like it was very sad.
You buried, you
Yeah.
buried
It's
Blue,
not
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
It's not like D&D where it's a spell, because in 5th edition it's a spell
speak
to
of them.
in 5th edition D&D it's a spell to summon a familiar.
Okay.
Um,
I know nothing of D&D, so I'll just
and
take your word
that's
for this.
one of the few things I do know. In Pathfinder, a familiar is generally like a class feat. Like most casters have access to a familiar.
Right.
You
Which
can
is similar. In,
You
But,
can take it as a.
it's similar to the other
Uh,
system. See how I
I-
filtered that?
We're allowed to
I-
say D&D. It's like you could say.
A witch's familiar is like integral to her entire class. It's like a wizard spellbook. So,
Okay, right.
So-
if this little guy dies, goes away, the next morning there will be a new one. The patron will send another one.
Wizards
Got
We
it.
had a
get their
flash-
magic from like the incredible specificity and minutia of their spell book.
Right.
Clerics get their magic from God.
Yeah.
Witches get their magic from their familiar. That is, Greenie is the source of her spells.
If he
Go
dies,
it.
I actually can't do anything.
She literally cannot cast spells if
She
he
can
dies.
cast her
It's literally
cantrips.
just through him.
She has cantrips.
That's true. She's got
Through
Yeah.
the
her
patron,
gnome
through the
cantrips, too.
through the lizard.
Yeah.
Kind of
And
like
every- yeah.
okay.
And
Kind of
every-
like in that
And
other system has
patrons
like
are-
warlocks, but warlocks that goes to the patron.
And
He's on
patrons,
I'm not saying it.
patrons, the witch's patrons is a lot more vague than a warlock's patron is too.
Right, but that's
Generally,
why they
it's like an
have-
idea.
But the familiar isn't vague, which actually kind of makes
Yeah.
up for the.
Familiar
Yeah,
is
and the
cool.
familiar source of power is the patron. So they
Yeah.
kind of.
So he's connected with, which now he's got a porcelain hand.
Is that on purpose?
It's like a
So
game
he
of
stopped
telephone.
God one time, and then.
So you know the four-armed eyeball monster that was attacking you?
Yeah.
Harassing you? We fought the four-eyed tornado monster. Or the
Which I saw.
four-armed 4-armed tornado
The
monster.
black hole monster.
Yeah. You guys are like, is it this one? I'm like, it's not that. It's cuter.
He like literally was like, hush.
Yeah, he touched. Like he went to reach out towards
It was in
Cammy,
a
and I
wheel.
stepped forward and took the touch instead. And that's how I aged. Close now. That's how MD hit retirement.
Yeah, you're like 20 years older now.
Yeah.
So, and orcs did not very long live.
We don't know how much longer MD has before he just croaks.
Pretty old.
Are you gonna start rolling D100
And
at the
that's-
beginning of every day?
65 is how the average orc lifespan.
And where are you at now?
We know them.
I don't know. I mean, you have your age in. Oh, but they don't have
No,
your
we
age in your
don't
folder.
have our ages because
Yeah,
we don't know
they had
how
to. They had
old
to
we
kind
are.
of guess. You
Yeah.
have like estimated
He said-
ages.
That's
but-
He
so
said
important to me right now, is I
probably like
still don't know
mid
how
to
old
late
Cammy is.
30s
Okay.
for a break, and he aged 18 years.
So now gnomes live an indefinite amount of time.
Do they?
Cammy could be 11. Cammy could be 9,000.
That's
Like
what I'm
this-
saying. This is this all is. It's all. She's the centerpiece, guys. She's the
thing
nucleus.
is, the thing is though,
She's the connection,
my
guys. I'm telling you.
favorite ancestry lore is gnomes
Bleaching.
bleaching.
I love bleaching.
Oh, yeah,
When
'cause I
gnomes
was
get
bleaching.
bored is when they start to die. So as long as a gnome is not bored, they can live indefinitely. They're lobsters.
The
But
lobsters.
the moment they start to
Lobsters
lose-
also die of boredom.
Yeah, that's a true fact. Look it
And
up.
restaurants.
But they
And restaurants.
they bleach. And
Two
wasn't
leading
she,
causes of lobster death.
wasn't
Boredom and
she bleaching?
restaurants.
Wasn't Edelmaid bleaching?
Edelmaid
before?
was bleaching.
Alien was bleaching.
That's why
yes.
she dyed her hair pink.
Because I was dying.
Boredom
my
and
hair.
cheddar biscuits. That's
Does that mean like the world would just become overrun with gnomes if they had TikTok? Like,
yeah.
No, because you get bored watching
If you're
TikTok.
TikTok
like in-
accelerates how fast you get bored. I don't know what you're
Wow.
talking about. That's the
Ooh, that's
opposite.
actually
No,
kinda
what
do that
happens
too.
the gnomes are going extinct.
About
when they're
every
on TikTok.
200
Despite
years.
seeming to orchestrate maybe doomsday, with a ragtag group of other
Every-
baddies, she was bored.
it's right. Yeah, that's
Every
fine.
200 years, you just gotta get a gnome with the amnesia stick.
That's how you fix
How to
it.
keep a gnome from getting bored.
Tell you what,
Delete mine.
haven't been
I mean,
bored since.
Gnomes are a lot like computers, where they start running slow and dying, then you factory reset it back to a clean state, and then
It's been a great solution
That's a
to
good
the
meta
bleaching.
thing you're doing there. That's
Instant
good.
solve to the bleaching problem. That's fantastic. Yeah, just reset all your memories, and now
Question is-
everything's scary and horrible.
Yeah.
What's
this
Cammy's
is-
natural hair color?
Yes.
I think that
I don't know that you guys know.
I don't.
Because you
isn't-
know she had white
don't
roots because she
know.
was bleaching. You know she
and
dyed it
gnomes-
pink.
I think gnomes' hair color changes throughout their lifetime too.
It can, yeah.
Ah.
RGB.
It could be like you can.
'Cause
Gnomes
we-
can have naturally neon pink hair.
Yeah.
Like
We had-
it can
'cause
be
we met
crazy.
Tolman in the asylum, and he had blue hair.
Yeah, Tolman's was right blue.
And I
blue,
don't
yeah.
think he's the kind of guy to dye his hair.
I've
be
always
honest with
kind of changed Cammy's hair color a little bit. Like every now and then, I'll add a different color crayon into the mix. Sort of like there was like a really sad part of book 2 that I started using like a really dark purple more. I was like, she's upset
This is her emo phase.
So we got.
because I knew it was like sort of natural now.
You have
Like I don't think she's
moonstone
bored
hair.
right now.
Is that what's happening?
So
We
you're
met-
Like, you're like a chameleon now, where you
Yeah!
like mood hair.
yeah.
mood hair.
Mood hair?
But as a blend with her surroundings, it shows her emotions. Oh, she's having a day. All right, everybody stay clear.
I mean,
Here's
usually
a little
I feel like
dark.
we can tell. Is that what's happening when you pass out and like extrude colors? Is you're just dyeing your hair?
Oh, she's sick. It's kind of green.
Which is the thing that happened a couple times in book 1.
Yes.
That we discovered the delivered unconscious with the random narcolepsy episodes.
Never when I was there. Because I remember the first time it happened, it was an episode that I missed.
It was the
Extremely
episode we met
convenient
him.
wide out tool.
Yes.
It's
And then I came
narcolepsy,
back
hell of a
because
drug.
I specifically I didn't watch the episode because I didn't want to know what happened while
The
I was
first time
unconscious.
episode.
Like because the character wouldn't know or whatever.
Right.
And I came back and I remember you and Kevin telling me just like, "Oh, you freaked out when you were at."
The first time was bad. They've been very subdued
I still
since
don't
then.
know
To the point where
Details of what happened.
Yeah, to the
that
point where the
time.
last time you passed out, when you first got to the prison, like, you didn't do anything. Like, nothing happened. Nothing came out of you. And the first time, it went crazy. It
Changed
went...
the whole fight.
Yes, they
Well,
were
I don't think I
fighting in
even
a
know that
storage
still.
room, and then it got, like, transformed into a forest.
Well,
like, they were in a forest, like...
First time.
I didn't know that.
nothing-
I've never heard that.
The first time she got knocked out, nothing happened because it was like in the hall. It was like in a random passage where we were fighting a doppelganger. So
Backhander, she fell
yeah,
over.
and then the second time was the episode we met him, and then everything goes crazy. Like she starts spraying out all these colors, like paint spots, like scenery starts changing. Everything's weird, and then you wake up and it's all gone.
Like the second time you went narcoleptic, some stuff happened too, and then like it's been less and less every time, to the point where now nothing has happened. The most recent time that
Except
you
for
were out,
I shot that lady with magic on the moon.
you did shoot. That's true. When you woke up, you shot the weird ray,
Yeah. I went, oh!
the go to sleep laser.
Yeah.
Like it's
The ride-out tool.
The color. The color
I'm done with this conversation spell. Like, I would like to move on.
Having all the colors come out is kind of like a defensive measure. Would make sense. We could describe you as Squiddish.
Oh my
You guys
gosh.
made me eat.
Oh my gosh.
Are you just punning?
Yes,
day?
that's all he's doing.
I've got nothing else to do.
Okay, I want to go back to the hair color thing. So, like, if you're like super angry or in love, will it go like more red?
I could do.
What
I
would
could do.
blue be?
Depressed.
I do think that Cammy just likes the color like pink and purple.
Got
I
it.
doubt that
This
it
is
goes
enjoyer.
often
Like-
off of that. I think she'd stay in that spectrum, but I don't know. I don't know what her hair color was.
Could
have
be
no idea.
anything.
You're like,
We also don't know what the mushroom thing is. There's been a couple times where I've used lay on hands, and it happened on
That's
MD
all.
first.
That's all of us.
That's been almost all of your archetype
You guys go on
abilities
trips
have
with
triggered
mush-
some of
this
that.
guy.
in the
It's
heels?
all this guy.
Mhm.
Because
Also
from
meta.
what I can infer, the archetypes like have been tainted by Zalmandor.
Yeah, all of your archetype
Well, not
abilities have
heroes,
manifestations
now we
like that.
gotta
You just
prove
use the most.
Wait, who's Zamindor?
Don't worry about it.
Because when Trey activated his
zombie?
auras, you all had those
No,
visions
not like
too.
a
You would
spell,
like
yeah.
feel it,
And then,
Mhm.
and then.
mind triggers. I don't even know.
But it's out of all of the archetype abilities.
Mhm.
Hasn't happened with Brett's at all.
Wait, what?
Brett's kind of got his own thing going on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it kind of has in that he sees it. He sees it in Marius.
Yeah.
And he sees the tendrils branching out to everyone. But nothing happens to him specifically. But we're jumping ahead here. Found Asandro. Found out about Xandalis, a name we'd heard a bunch of times, and then we eventually got a personnel file for, who was
That's it.
one of the survivors in the asylum, who had been there for quite a long time.
Is Xandalis the druid guy that was in the woods that we just met?
No.
No,
Yeah, that's
Xandalis is a mute painter from Thrushmoor who had been admitted to Briarstone Asylum
I was close.
a while ago.
It's like the same thing.
I don't remember the time frame. I want to say it's been like 5 to 10 years that he's been in Briarstone Asylum. I think it's been a while, but not like a huge chunk of his life, but a while. He was definitely. I mean, Briarstone really only has long-term patients. They aren't like a short-term treatment facility. They're inpatient. They're here for the long haul. But he started a cult, seemingly by existing. I think details still somewhat unclear on that, other than he seemed to be able to protect everybody from the Tatterman. Which, given the state of the asylum and how horrible the Tatterman is really all you have to do to rally a whole bunch of support is, promise them no Tatterman. But they were a problem. And we believed that Xandalis was connected to, if not the origin of the asylum events. So we eventually fought our way up to him and faced the Tatterman inside his mind, or something close to it. And there finally won that fight, with all the power and knowledge and expertise we had gained throughout the asylum, all the friends we made along the way, or whatever. That one, that's the friends we made along the way. And with that, we're finally able to leave. Because they found the front door pretty early. They could have just walked outside. They did, in fact, walk outside very briefly.
So nope.
We walk back inside.
Went, nuh-uh. I went back in the
Bad.
building.
What was happening outside?
There's like all this yellow mist, like
Yeah.
you couldn't see. And
You can see shapes moving
Yeah.
in the mist.
Or their claw.
And there's grass out there.
Probably.
You're
What's
there-
grass?
What's- wait,
Too
hold on.
much grass.
Should I be worried about grass? Sure.
We,
You didn't know Strange Aeons has this whole thing about grass? Have you ever seen grass?
It was
So- I
the
just touched the
bad
troll.
times outside, and they have in the book.
But this is Thrushmoor, where like my guy has also been around.
Yeah, this is Briarstone Asylum's on an island, like off the coast of Thrushmoor. It's
Got
like it's
it.
right there. It's visible. You can see it
it's a
from
tourist
town.
Survivor.
attraction for Thrushmoor.
It's kind of tourist attraction. I don't know if a still functioning mental asylum is a tourist attraction.
What else they got going on?
Should we do the backstory of where
Fisheries.
Reginald was as this was happening? Does
Getting
he
fired.
see the yellow mist
Getting
happen?
fired.
Getting fired.
Getting fired. That's true.
Not yet.
He's busy getting fired. He's already been fired. He's in the middle of getting fired. That's accurate. What's he
we
doing?
should've had
Losing his job. That's
Being
what he's doing.
unemployed.
We should have had a solo like slice of life.
It was too much
episode
red
just
tape
for-
that they were telling me things I shouldn't do, and I just like, no, this is what I do.
But we
I don't
left.
follow the rules.
We made our way to
Give me your
Thrushmoor
badge.
and reconnected with a lot of our old friends in town,
No one.
like Mellison
0.
and Reese
That's someone's lover.
But
and
also the
Lady
bar,
Rents.
the
Not my
tavern.
friend. I killed her employee.
You did.
I have 0 friends in
And
Thrushmoor.
Darendella,
Who?
the druid,
Oh my gosh.
who
The
you
really
lived.
angry druid.
You lived in her cave.
Yeah, dude, we
Yeah.
took over. We killed her and took over her house.
Yeah.
I can't forget her name.
Not important.
That's so messed up.
We killed her and stole her abode, man. Like, it was a good haul. Like,
They're being
Remember,
nicer
because
to us.
There was a time during the "there's a bomb in Cammy's brain" incident where we would lock me in her bedroom, and then the rest of you guys would sleep outside.
lock's
of
a
it.
strong word. She didn't really have doors so much as she just had giant wooden slabs that Cammy was physically too weak to move. So they would just close it and she
It's
could
like, well, just in case she blows.
seal her in prison. So at least she'll just blow up alone in there.
Welcome back to solitary.
Stressful. The whole thing was stressful. The bomb in Cammy's brain.
Oh, dude, that was.
I
Like,
was stressed.
the most stressful
When
time.
we
in
got
my
back to Thrushmoor, we had learned a little bit about who we were from the patient files, but that was just like the physical. That was our name, the reason we were here, and the general state of insanity that we've been admitted in. We didn't really know much about our past. Thrushmoor immediately revealed a pretty good amount about who we used to be, which it seems like not great people. Just, on the whole, I don't even know if we could really say we're members of so much as kind of like ran that cult. Flowels' cult, like it was.
They ran the cult.
I ran the cult.
See? I wasn't wrong. I'm not that far off.
No, Reginald
Well, in
is
fact,
not
it's
wrong.
He's not wrong.
We're not great people. I
That's
murdered
sort
a
of-
lady.
Well, and
Public
it
enemy
doesn't have
number one.
zero to do with why we lost our memory. It's the me running the cult part.
We know
It was a coup
you
of sorts.
and Mellison were kind of the big ones there. I mean, it was Lowell's. It seems very directly ran everything. It was his. It was his group investigating the Star Stella within Thrushmoor. However, as we may know, Lowell's is dumb and stupid. So he
Really?
organized this, but sort of outsourced it to a lady named Mellison, who you would have been a degree of familiar with because it was the county seneschal. She worked at Iris Hill for a while, and she was kind of like the public face that people would interact with, but she was also the leader of this cult. This cult trying to reactivate the Star Stella.
Was that known?
Not really.
Yeah.
It was like Lowell's is definitely up to some stuff, but
Something's going on top of that hill.
figuring out what was kind of hard.
Yo,
Your
howdy,
theory,
I'm a
what you
villager.
knew from the agency perspective, is that there were a weird amount of disappearances in town, and you thought they were somehow linked to Lowell's and Iris Hill. The why was unknown at the moment, whether he
Still
was
don't
just
even
like
know, really.
a crazy serial killer, like if this is just like an H.H. Holmes thing, or no, it's a cult. They know that. They were there.
Ritual sacrifices. I help make them
A lot of
disappear.
ritual sacrifices going on down there.
And during this time, we were getting flashes of memories of ourselves.
Slowly
Uh-huh.
learning how crap we used to be.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
Not so slowly.
yeah.
Hold on. In the campaign, you guys were playing as cult members.
No,
Or that was just your past life you were cult
that was our
members.
past
We were
life.
trying to
That
figure
was
that, yeah.
Brick, Edelmay, Martin, and Hudlum.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
And they would occasionally find things in Thrushmoor that would remind them of the life they had. They would remember little bits.
Got it.
They'd have little bits of memory. They would, MD would remember brutally curb stomping a lady to death, your partner.
Yeah.
Cammy would remember inventing entirely new methods of torture to see if she could evoke a stronger emotional response
That was
than
pretty bad.
via traditional torture.
It's okay.
It was actually kind of
fun.
sick, but
It's not the fact that you changed. It's just the fact that you are different. You know, you are now a complete new person-ish, kind of.
Cold-blooded murder.
And these are the memories we're here to get back.
yay!
We want the details.
I might be like helping you guys, and as soon as you guys get everything back, and then we feel like, all right, guys, I gotta go fast because you guys are naturally not good people.
I gotta go somewhere else very quickly.
Wait, didn't I have what was my new retirement plan? I wrote down on the last. I was like, I think I have a
You're
new
gonna
retirement.
try and refurbish the prison.
I was
That's
gonna
what it was.
refurbish the
You wanted to
prison.
run the moon jail.
I was gonna run it properly. That's what I was going to
it
do.
was
A very
very-
common retirement plan for people. A lot of people.
refurbish a prison on the
Yeah.
moon.
Moon,
that's-
I just wanted to be
That's on my
ran
bucket
well.
list.
Moon prison's always a good fallback plan. If your like original career trajectory just kind of stalls
Be
out,
a
it doesn't really
millionaire? Yeah.
realize.
Yeah.
Run a moon prison.
Yeah,
It's
you know,
like-
like
We need prisons.
play golf,
pretty
watch a bunch of Jeopardy, run a moon prison.
Yeah, it's,
like,
it's good retirement
move to
activities.
Florida.
Like, move to-
I think it's
which is,
Kentucky
as
now.
we all know, on the moon.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Tennessee now, but
Is there gators on the moon?
Could be.
Moon gators.
You know, that's up to you in your retirement.
Okay.
You bring gators to the moon.
Small white tailed deer.
You introduce a whole variety of species to the moon. You
Yeah.
can just
Is there
terraform
a
that
giant
moon, man.
amusement park that brings
Bring gators
everybody
to the
from
moon.
around that
It's the
world
prison.
up there?
it is the prison.
I'm gonna make the moon Florida. I'm
Why
turning the moon
can't
into
we just
Florida,
build
guys.
like a really big elevator that goes from the Earth to the moon?
Oh,
Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
if you
That's
really want to get
like a rocket, but if it was just really long.
but we don't need a rocket. We made a tall elevator.
It's
Then
just
you
the
could
long
just get
part of the
in and
rocket.
you could listen to elevator music.
for
if you-
15
for-
hours.
if you want to get
It's gonna be a
technical,
lot longer than that, I think.
the moon is sort of Florida right now because this is the thing I heard on another podcast recently was that in Catholicism, I forget the actual.
All right, hold
name.
on. The moon is sort of Florida right now.
Yeah.
I heard on a podcast because of Catholicism.
Yeah.
Every part, like
Hey, this is
phrase
not the
of
time
this
to-
sentence.
this
has
is not the
taken
time to
another
interrupt.
turn. Like,
Let him cook.
We
Let
need
him
him
cook.
to finish because this
Let
is
him
not the
cook.
time to interrupt.
I forget the actual titles of the like,
Let him
the
finish.
people there, but like it's
He
like
needs to connect this.
like they have like the land around the Catholic center that like they run. So it like Orlando is an area that's all run by like one bishop or something like that.
Okay, got it.
okay,
And
right.
in the rules of the Catholic Church, when you colonize somewhere else, that area is ruled by the source zone.
Okay.
So
The
because
proto-bishop.
we were the first, because we launched the shuttle to the moon from
Florida.
Canaveral, that counted as the Orlando zone. So the
So the
person-
Orlando bishop is responsible for the moon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody's
Nothing
gotta,
to do with Pathfinder.
Somebody's got to get him on the phone. Does he know what's going on up there?
The moon isn't real. All right, the moon is fake. Like that's something everyone just needs to know. Like it's not a real body of rock. in
We
space.
at UGT.
Is this MD or is this
do
Coca-Cola?
not.
This is so. The moon
I'm
is
still
a
stuck on
space
Florida. It's
station
technically the moon. I heard a podcast because of
by
Catholicism.
people in the future and sent to
We
the
at
past
UGT,
so that humankind can
Don't
develop
necessarily
properly.
condone or support.
Some.
Colby's opinions are his own.
My favorite conspiracy theory. Every single one about the moon being fake is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we are in Thrushmoor having memory flashbacks.
Learning
Trust him
about
now all of a sudden.
ourselves.
He makes bad life decisions. Stay away from my kids.
The moon's real.
And learning about this cult
It's like my favorite thing.
that was trying to reactivate magic inside these. I was talking about a tourist attraction. I guess we got the Star Stella or a tourist attraction. Strange runic obelisks that have been in Thrushmoor for, well, long before Thrushmoor was here. And then long before Thrushmoor was here the previous time, like 5 centuries ago. They're weird. They're clearly magical, but no one has ever really managed to figure out what they're for, or what they do, or did, or how to use them, and that was Melisand's goal. Ostensibly, a ritual known as the Joining. But when she was finally able to realize it, pulling the power out from the Star Stella and activating the magic inside, we discovered that she really just wanted to use it for herself. She wanted to take whatever power the Stella connected to, whatever they were linked to on the other side, because there is an other side. We're able to determine that they do pair with something, somewhere. And she thought, what an opportunity. Unknown, mysterious font of mystic power. That's for me.
It's free real estate.
It's free real estate. Didn't go great for her on
murdered.
account of a severe lack of blood sacrifices.
Thanks for putting that in my head now. I'm going to have that in my head for days.
Free real estate.
Free real estate. Just free real estate.
Did not go great for her.
You all stopped her. You showed up at the 11th hour as the ritual was in progress, and your presence, an intentional part of this, something Melisande had needed. More emotional conduits, more people present that were connected to the ritual, more that had ties to the Stella, to the magic, the creator of this very ritual that they were doing. But she did not anticipate getting her ass beat.
She didn't have any blood sacrifices. She lost all of her blood and all of the air in her lungs.
That's when I finally
you
pulled
start
out
the
my
fight?
gun.
No.
Oh.
That's why I
You
pulled out
did
my
pull
gun.
out your gun.
That was the first ever gun that, I
It
did
was the big fight against...
Just this little girl.
Well, and I
has,
hadn't
like, this
told any
gun.
of them. That's how I opened the fight. I was just like, you did.
Oh gosh, when did she get a gun?
and just like hit the pillar right next to her head. She was like, "Jeez, what?"
And then I stormed her.
And you ran at her.
I was so mad at her. That
That-
whole book.
Big fight against Melisande and Reese at the end.
It's one of the times I almost died.
Close.
Because you
did get
cursed
pretty
me.
close.
You put the curse on me. If
Yes.
I died, if I went down to piercing damage, I just died.
You
That's
put that
what
curse
Reese
on you,
does.
and Reese very
What
stabby.
did she do?
She does piercing damage.
She has a
I
big
almost
knife.
I
A
got
lot. of
I got
piercing
knocked
damage.
down to 0.
you ferocity
and I
through
ferocity
what
through
would
it.
have been a character death
Yes.
if you had not or ferocity'd.
Yes.
Because that curse would have caused you to die instantly instead of going to dying.
Good.
And he's still there.
He's still kicking.
I was very worried for MD throughout all of book 2, and I told you guys this
Yeah.
repeatedly because that it was MD and Easy. Easy also over the course of this adventure
Got very close.
very close to
With
death.
Reese.
With Reese.
Huh.
Reese's the only effective assassin you guys have
Yeah.
met so far, having almost killed 2 of you. But
She tried to assassinate
I love how
me.
he
almost killed
handed-
3 of you.
Yeah, with
Not
the
so
poison
almost
thing.
on you, but
With the,
I was saving through that, though.
with the start of the whole
There was-
campaign, he hands me this character sheet and he's like, I tried to make you as unkillable as possible. And then he proceeds to test it all the way through book
yeah,
2.
well, there's a reason I made you as unkillable as possible. I did it for a reason because I knew it was coming. I knew where we were going with
You
this.
could have controlled it.
He could've-
Someone's
You
getting a
knew what
revenant
you were
missile thrown at
doing.
them, and it's you.
He gave me more
We all start
ferocity.
turning on AJ.
It
You
was
know what this is.
foreseen.
You created all of these issues.
And then we had Reese almost killed EZ. Reese almost killed MD. Reese got kind of close to killing Cammy, but she saved real good on that poison, so that worked out. Very lethal poison.
That was like a fallback, though. It was often that Reese was just like, this isn't working. I guess I need to go assassinate Candy real quick.
He's like, oh, this isn't working. It's time to kill a child.
There's that whole scene where, because Kevin used to sit next to me, and he had a scene with Reese where she's just like, and then like she starts packing up her stuff, and he's like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm gonna go kill Cammy. And I remember because I was sitting there, like,
Yeah, it was
like, you
just,
gotta tell her
it was
no.
it was a one-man scene. So Sully's not there. He's bringing out the table. Kevin's sweating. He's like, yeah, what if you didn't do that?
Tell her not to.
Did he like romance her? Is that when the whole romance thing started?
The
Where he
romance
just-
was like,
Oh,
where they
yeah.
pulled her
The
in and kissed
romance started on an
Instead
episode
of-
where Kevin did not appear.
It was a write out. The romance started with a write out, and then we all made the joke, and then we were all
No,
right.
here's what happened. Here's what happened is that AJ described a scene where it was clear that Kevin had exited his bedroom window and snuck out, and then he described that you could tell through like rustlings on feet
2 people had
that there were
Fall.
two
sat
people.
down.
No, that
The
there were
two-
2 people, and one had gotten pushed up against a
There was a
wall,
scuffle.
That- yeah,
and that
and
they
in a
had
fight.
slid down and had a scuffle.
That's some good.
And then we
PG-13.
all said, "Oh, easy, just." And so
On a
we're
high
like,
tech
"Oh,
romantic
so they
incident.
got it on."
No part of that was the romantic part.
No.
That was
This
him
had not
getting
yet
abducted
been-
at knife point.
It had not even been revealed yet
There were no knife
that
rings.
this was a
There were no
romantic
knife
interest.
I mean,
We were supposed to think he was just kidnapped.
is
It
either
was
one
the
of them
next
trained in
episode.
jujitsu? If not, then they don't do ground game. Then I'm guessing
I mean,
what
like-
else would it be?
And then there
This-
was a scuffle on the floor.
The scuffle happened before they sat down.
They pushed up against a wall, slid down,
and sat
then
down and sat there.
something moved. No.
They just sat
And
there.
9 months
Scuffle
later,
on-
I'm on
Human
your
was
side
created.
here,
They did sit there. I don't know where this came from.
but the
It
whole
was-
romance thing was a fact of jokes. Like, oh, they made out. Like,
It was a meme.
100%.
Yeah, it was because
They
what
did
happened
more
was
than
she
made out.
came
There
in the
was a
window.
scuffle on the
He
floor.
woke up, knifed his throat,
It was just how it was
and then
always
she
described.
forced him out the window, and then he got out, and then she climbed out after him, and then held him against the wall with a knife and talked to him for a second, and then he sat down, and then she still had the knife, but he was sitting on the floor, and then she ended up sitting next to him, and they were talking, and they both left. That was
That's hot. It's
the
hot.
big-
It wasn't
joke.
until the next episode though that we knew because it was
Like,
she
It
did
was-
make out with him though.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
The
wasn't-
very
that
next
wasn't-
episode she made out and we were all like, what? Because AJ was looking at us like we were the crazy ones for thinking that
With the evidence provided, you were!
and no, he kept
I take
saying-
you out of your bedroom window. I do
He kept-
this thing on
He kept
With
saying-
a knife!
He said there was no knife, and we said there were no knife prints,
Pinned
only butt
against
prints.
the wall were the words.
No
people.
shame here,
Pinned
guys.
against the wall.
No knife prints,
Exit the
only
bedroom.
butt
Sneak
prints.
out of the bedroom.
What did you want us to
The
think,
wall.
AJ?
Sink down to the ground and a scuffle of some sort ensues.
All right, fellas, it's clear there's been a crime here. Dust for butt prints.
You can't call me crazy anymore. It is what happened.
I mean, you are.
Just because you happen to be correct doesn't make you less crazy given the evidence provided.
The story writes itself.
Anyway, so the
Either
rest
way,
of us
we
got
love
like,
Reese.
really, really troubling NPC encounters, and Easy got a girlfriend.
I got. Oh yeah.
Nice.
You had a great friend
Welcome
for
to
a bit.
Pathfinder.
Oh, she sold me out.
I had an undead
I'm that
lady.
Regina George, like my own personal demon.
I met an undead lady that wanted to kill me and exclusively me.
Well, that's
Wait,
not kind
where's
of murder.
Regina George from?
Mean Girls.
Thank you.
Yep.
Is that the main bad girl?
Yeah.
The main
That's
mean girl?
basically. It was kind of like that sort of really. It was like a jealousy. Like we're best friends, but she like hates my guts. Like
Hey, she was really nice to you at first.
Oh, so you think you're pretty.
Purely
okay.
for her own
that is her.
good.
That was her.
Oh,
too.
so
That
you're-
actually really was.
I really want to lose 3 pounds.
I remember I told AJ I was just like I think that she's jealous.
Melisson,
So you agree?
So
we
you think you're really
Well,
pretty?
you think you're ready?
first met up with Kimmy. When did you first meet Melisson?
It was
She just
coming out of
the-
Ren-
bumped into
Yeah,
you
Sleepless Agency.
in town. Yeah, so you just
It was we were exiting the Sleepless Agency, and then she was just like, "Oh my gosh,
she was like,
Edelman,"
holy
and I was,
crap, Edelman! Like,
Yeah, and I was still trying to pretend that I didn't know who that was. I was like it was spooky. And then we
And then
went
you guys
to
went
the
and got
tea
tea.
lounge.
you went and
I
got
was there
tea,
too.
and then she revealed that she was a psychic, and you had been
Always.
friends before,
Mm-hmm.
and then she tried to
Who's a psychic?
Melisson,
Millicent.
Was.
and then she unlocked some of your memories.
Yeah, that was the torture one.
I thought that was when she planted the bomb.
Did you
No,
learn
she
things?
planted the
I'm like,
bomb
oh, I
later
can.
on.
I
tell
learned
you
that I
this.
invented a new torture.
What was it?
It was switching around like all of your sensations basically, like all of your senses. It was like
You
like
see out of your
swapping them.
hands and you.
You.
Yeah,
Feel
so
out
like
of
you
your
It
see,
was actually
like
one
you
of the
you
coolest
taste
scenes that
colors and you
yeah.
see sounds, and like you
Give them
feel
synesthesia.
smells, and
It
it's
is still one of my favorite scenes that AJ's described in this entire thing. It was like because it was the first flashback
Sounds
of the
Lovecraftian.
book of the season,
the first flashback was the torture
and it
scene,
was
yes.
like harrowing because
Yeah, and it's torture because you do that and then you like fart in the room and leave and you're like, it burns!
it was like it was a scary scene. It was like
It was you had
Sometimes
shot a
that's
gun-
real.
You shot a gun next to the man's ears.
yeah, you switched all his senses around and then shot your gun right next to his ear and he threw up because like he tasted it. Like tasted that like
And then AJ was
deafening
like
sound.
playing Cammy, so he's like giggling about it. And like
Yeah, he played. So during the flashback scenes, AJ was trying his best to play our characters as they were before. So he's trying to implement a little bit of how we were playing them already, which was funny when he got that tray. We had to do the voice.
The hobgoblin voice isn't that hard.
Easy's first flashback was also bad because it was him. He cut the
He
tongue
cut a dude's
out of a
tongue
guy's
out.
mouth after mugging him, and then he and Reese made out about it.
Actually,
That was his flashback.
I had
He
the
got
first
that
Cut
when
a
he
dude's
kissed
tongue
her
and
the
made out
first
with his
time.
girlfriend.
I had the
He
first
kissed her
flashback.
and he remembered.
Some real Bonnie and Clyde stuff right there. That's
It's
to
serious,
the
yeah.
end, guys. It's hot.
We actually
That's what they
had
mean
the
by
first flashback in the asylum because you gave it to me as a little treat with the murder of the tree. Like,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Taste little murder is a treat. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
little
curb
murder is a
stomping a
treat.
woman.
That's
they're
what,
like,
that's what tongue kissing
your
means.
partner.
What do you mean?
For our first flashback was of me killing Reginald's partner
Oh, got it.
under a tree.
Yes. Yeah.
stomping her into oblivion.
Yep.
Reginald was very logical about the whole situation. Like, I knew what you guys were doing. Like, you
She's
guys
dead
weren't
again.
even-
I know what you did last summer.
Yeah, she
Like,
died
listen.
again. So she's regular dead now.
Yeah, she's regular dead now.
Yeah.
She went to undead, and then he had to put. It didn't really stick, so he had to do it again.
Do
Now
it
she's
again.
normal dead.
It was in Bang Bangs.
It's in Bang Bang.
I know it was
Smithy.
your past
Showed up.
life.
It was at Bang Bangs.
We have
Can't
bigger
we
evil.
just go back?
The
to Bang
Thrushmoor?
Bang?
Oh,
Just
the
to-
Bang Bang. You saw hang with Bang Bang?
I miss Bang Bang.
I love Bang Bang.
He fixed his door. That was nice.
You did a dwarf
Door.
thing.
I did
Wait.
a door
Likes us,
thing.
I
My
know.
one time a
Hold
craft
on.
check worked.
What's Bang Bang?
He's a goblin.
I
He's
drew a
the
picture
blacksmith
of
in
it.
town. You know Bang Bang.
You know
You're from
Bang
Thrushmoor. He
Bang.
runs the local smithy.
He's a
God.
goblin. When
Brett
you're-
doesn't know. Reginald does.
Brett, when you're hitting metal with a hammer, what kind of sound does it make?
Bang Bang.
It goes bang, bang.
Yeah.
No, you're not hitting it hard enough to make a tink noise. You have to hit it hard to make a bang.
Right.
Bang bang.
Bang, bang.
Bang Bang.
Bang bang.
I'm Bang Bang spokesperson now.
Bang Bang was great.
Come on down to Bang Bang store. That's
Come on down to Bang Bang's used car
Everything
lot.
is at reasonable price.
But we found out. We
Bang
helped with
Bang.
Bang Bang.
Bang.
That's it. That's him. That's Bang Bang.
Looks like a
I
clown.
drew him.
He does
Oh,
kind of
he
look like
is
a
a clown. With a name
Corchester.
like Bang Bang? Yeah.
Bang Bang.
Bang Bang the clown.
He
I
does
knew
good
I drew
work.
him. I put a little heart under
He's a good
his
fella.
name.
We spent a lot of time with Thrushmoor undoing all the things that we had apparently done ourselves, such as summoning in a variety of horrible monsters from Beyond the Stars. We summoned in a couple of those tentacle monsters. Did we meet the weird dog? We did meet the weird dog. We fought the weird dog. We fought the
Hound
weird
of
dog in the
Tyndalos?
library. Yeah.
Yes.
The Hound of Tyndalos. Weird dog.
Weird dog.
The dog's sick.
That dog's sick.
The dog says.
That dog was angry.
Was
We
he
summoned in
hungry?
Mr. X and ended up finally fighting him in the old chapel.
And that's when we lost Bluey.
That's when we lost Bluey because Mr. X just stomped on him and he died instantly.
She sent Blue over to heal me, and then he said,
He just stomped him out.
the moment you introduced
It was
us,
very
Blue,
sad.
very sad. We met a painter,
He met a nice painter that gave you a place to stay.
and he had us in a dream.
I'm looking through my book 2 notes and I have a little count here of how much pesh I have left because I was addicted.
What's that? Is that drugs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like basically opium.
Drugs and a gun.
Pretty much opium. Yeah, no, what she found in that box was basically opium and a pistol.
That's
It was
pretty
like-
And
awesome.
then I quickly got it. Oh, because there's the pesh count, and then there's the note right here because I got wheeled out of it. It says
You
I'm
got
not
wheeled out of your
addicted
addiction,
anymore.
yeah. Oh, you were.
Fox.
That was the black.
Oh, the
really
blood.
What's
There's
funny
no
is the
teenage
torture
survivors.
flashback. You were already addicted at this point. The torture flashback revealed that the point of the pesh was for the torture. Like, you wanted to see how people reacted to it with all their senses swapped around and see if that would perhaps, like,
Right, because you said like. You like
Yeah,
me and Kimmy
but
say, would just be
I
like, that
never-
would be stupid.
I'm not stupid. I wouldn't do this. Like, I wouldn't take pesh. I look like an idiot. Like, it's,
After she did it.
after she's already addicted to pesh. Like, it's, I threw that in there, just a little sprinkle of seasoning there. It's like, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to take pesh myself. Because Melisande was down there too. She was showing Melisande her torture method, is what it was.
I forgot
with her
that I
assistant,
named that
Pinky.
stick. I still have the stick. Yeah, he was pink. Pinky.
What's funny is that she can't even get synesthesia as a spell.
It's on her spell list.
Yeah, because she has the
Maybe we can make an exception.
she has the
Maybe we can make an exception.
divine spell
exception?
list, right? Because she's a fervor witch.
Is it just a cult?
It's just a
a
cult.
cult for synesthesia.
Maybe
Yeah, it's
we can
Because
make an
Raz
exception.
had it.
Maybe. I want to say she cast it out of a scroll explicitly in the flashback, but I don't remember. Or it was already swapped. He never actually saw her cast it.
Yeah.
He was already synestasia'd.
Yeah.
So it could have literally been somebody else casting it. It might not even necessarily been her.
Should have synesthesia.
Hire a traveling wizard to help you with your torture.
It's just easy.
Can you please make this guy taste what he's about to smell?
You just had Martin do it.
He needs to feel what the rock is cooking.
I've got a note here that just says all Easy's talked about all day is pirates.
Oh, it's pirate art!
Pirate
I forgot about Easy's pirate art!
Because he was, was he stupefied or drained?
It was after he almost died.
It was blood loss.
Yeah.
Straight blood loss. He was very drained.
That's right. That's when we had like a jar of both of your bloods, and we had blood transfusion.
You get the transfusion equipment that you had found in Old Chapel that you literally had to put blood. You put the random blood back in Easy.
And we learned right then.
And then I was just like, no, I can smell which one goes with which because I got that nose.
You just found bottles of blood that had been taken from the cult for the sacrifices, and you're just like, yeah, this is probably the right kind. And just stuck it in.
I think that's when we learned Easy was afraid of bleeding.
Yeah.
He was afraid of
His
blood.
madness was a phobia of blood.
It was hemophobia, and he had to get a blood transfusion from
was
the random jar blood.
And I think she
I don't
failed
think
with
there
Easy.
there wasn't like a single fight that entire book after discovering that where that boy did not end up bleeding at the end of it. Like he was always
Because he
getting
fought
slapped
27 blood-sucking monsters. That's why they had all the transfusion equipment. Like,
Her notes, for whatever reason, just said, "Don't trust purple."
Oh, there was a lady with the purple head. I was right. There was the lady with the purple headband
That was
when we were going to
definitely
storm
not
the
Belsatari.
castle. Yes.
it was
yeah, but I didn't remember her. Oh, there's her name. It's Sergeant Cecil.
Barrow and Cecil.
I used to have a dog.
There's a drawing
I'm not
of
gonna
3
talk about
doors and it says AJ's Nightmare with a little heart.
No. It was Barrow and Cecil. She was the sergeant at arms for the town guard, and she was the one that was answering. You might have talked to her.
Yeah.
Someone from the Sleepless Agency was definitely going
Sure.
there and trying to check, and then she would have been the one that answered, but it wasn't her. It was actually Telsatari, a strange one of the many things that was summoned from beyond, a strange creature of liquid metal that could step into the mirror world,
The mirror dimension.
the mirror dimension,
Don't like her.
and just kind of move through mirrors. And she showed up after the comically overscaled trap went off and did way too much damage to everybody from a whoa, and then started stabbing.
That was in there which has never been addressed since, but didn't EZ or somebody burnt all of the arrest records in there?
And then you left. You're not in
think-
Thrushmoor
We
anymore.
He
looked
did.
to make sure that we weren't in there. We were.
You
Pretty
were.
sure it was Easy.
I think it was easy.
It was easy. Yeah, he burned all of the standing, he burned all the
Warrants.
fines and the warrants in the
Yeah.
town. He just torched it all. So,
Yeah.
I don't think it
Well,
matters.
because we were in there for a bar fight.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. We got in a bar fight and we never explored that.
Never came back up.
And
Where's the
everyone-
bar? That's the only memory I do want back is
Yeah.
the bar fight.
Tammy and MD got in a bar fight.
So when do we get to the river? When do you guys get down to the...
After stopping Mellison, killing her, and beating the crap out of Reese, beating the Mellison out of Reese, causing the ritual to seem to fizzle on the Star Stella, we still had a lot of stuff we didn't know. We still didn't have our memories. We knew that we were involved with this cult and we were up to a lot of bad stuff, but didn't have much in the way of specifics. What we did know, what we did learn from exploring Iris Hill, Count Lowell's study, his personal records, what the cult knew, was that there was more to this. Lowell's had left some time ago on a journey down towards Cassomir to meet with a friend of his, an alchemist named Miacnian Mun. We know that alchemist had helped trying to do some of this research with the emotional states. He'd been up in Thrushmoor. They'd been in contact. They'd worked together. And he needed Miacnian's help retrieving the Necronomicon. He knows from a deal with the Mad Poet where he traded the minds of 4 of his finest employees
Right.
where the book was located. And so we decided to set out after him. Lady Rents owed us a little bit of a favor, so she helped set us up with a ship, the Selin Starling, and a captain, Skywind Freeling, who was definitely very happy to have a bunch of passengers.
She's
And
a bundle of joy, and I love her.
I love Skywind. Skywind's great.
She's one of my favorite NPCs of book
She's
3.
really fun.
Can I be honest about something? If I wasn't playing Reginald more like non-romantic, she's kind of hot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of hot. No. She's a gnome, right?
She's a
Yeah, you should
halfling.
go for it.
She's a
Halfling.
halfling. She's a halfling.
She ain't got no shoes. She got them hairy feet.
Kind of fits with Reginald. I'm just saying.
You're
He's
literal-
very
you're
furry.
literal.
Hey,
Maybe.
some people pay for that.
It would be
Don't
the
check my
second. It would be the second consecutive Strange Aeons campaign where somebody really wanted to hit on Skywind. So I guess it's just how I play Skywind. I just bring that out of people.
Did somebody romance Skywind in the first one?
Larkin in my first playthrough. Really, for those of you who are unfamiliar, who don't know Larkin, which is I think possibly all 4 of you.
Yeah.
I've met him briefly when we were playing Rivals.
We got him in Rivals once.
Yes.
That's true. He doesn't play it much, but I got him on once. That's also the only time I've ever
Wait,
won.
is Larkin a real person or a character name? You know somebody named Larkin?
Larkin is a real person that is alive. Yes, he's a human person.
What was his character's name?
And I mean, it's just like
Discord.
Shenmue. That's like his online name. It's,
Oh.
but he's like
Arcadis.
I mean, I have met him. Yeah, like Arcadis
Yeah.
or Derp. But he was in the original campaign, and This is. It was a really funny meme. I don't know if we could. The world has changed so dramatically since I don't even know if these jokes can be enjoyed anymore. Larkin, very gay, and me playing Skywind. The joke that kept coming up is he's like, I don't like this. Is making me feel weird feelings. Because it's not you, it's this character, but it's you playing this character, and I don't like how it makes me feel. And it was a recurring bit whenever Skywind would come, and it was funny. It was
Skywind seems like a good character to romance.
it was a funny meme, and we'd just been coming off of
she's
Skull
fun.
and Shackles, where he was in Skull and Shackles as well. Skull and Shackles had several player NPC romances. Mistress Cha got married. I'm pretty sure. There's no way Larkin was that whole campaign not hitting on anybody. I'm sure he did. It was a pirate campaign. That's like half the point of being a pirate. So there was a lot of that going around, and this was the first time it really come up in Strange Aeons. But like that energy got carried over. It was funny. So anyway, yeah, people consistently like Skywind. Apparently, something about how I play
It's just
Skywind.
you. I think it's just you.
It's just me.
People want to romance you.
It's me specifically.
You play a sassy, hot, short lady.
Yeah,
Yes.
we
Whenever
always-
AJ does
it's
that,
like when-
we-
That's basically what the Reese romance.
We just
also
all
is.
want a shorty pirate who's gonna be a little mean to us.
Hey, let's
She's not
circle
a
back
little-
to Marcus's romance.
Yeah.
Marius
The
has
elf.
a romance.
The elf.
Bring her back. Another
Bring
rogue.
her back. The people demand it.
I have her name somewhere. I'd literally have to
Do you
look for
remember
it.
her name?
No, of course
I
she
don't know.
doesn't.
I don't know if
I didn't
Yes,
know
you
that.
do.
Yeah, I probably do.
Of course you do. She's all
Did you? I don't think you got her
She's all you
name
got her
in
in
character.
your notebook
I think
from
I had to
elementary
give
school.
you her
You
name
wrote-
out of character.
Yeah.
It's called cold.
I'm digging. It's in here somewhere. I haven't thrown anything out from book 3 yet, so somewhere in this great stack of character sheets and random
We
paper.
may not have gotten her name.
I don't think you did in character, but I think I gave it to you anyway. Because it became like a bit. I want to say it's Priscilla.
Oh,
Sounds
Priscilla.
right.
That sounds correct.
That's such a good name. I had a crush on a girl named Priscilla in high school. She also friend-zoned me. Trauma. Trauma dump.
Priscilla. It's
Priscilla.
It was on quite literally the last page in my stack.
Because we're what in Marius's playbook.
Well, yeah, because it's got like, because it's got Daldron's stat block in case I needed it. So I put that one on the bottom because I wasn't going to come back up again. Yeah, all 3 of them had names. It was Argash, Bardock, and Priscilla were the 3 that came in with Daldron. What do we have here?
Get her next time, champ.
Yeah.
No, this time we'll find her.
I'm sure we'll come back to her at some point.
You gotta do the
Nothing
moves.
bad is
The
gonna
people
happen in this
demand it.
finale that will-
I think she's an elf, So
If you're watching this video right now,
You have to do the dominant move.
And
You know,
and if you
and
want
then, like, what are you
Marius,
doing, you know?
or your good buddy Marcus,
Stop
to get to
hitting
have
on the rogue women.
no,
No,
to get
don't
to
make
have
it so hot.
a romance of his own. He has so much love to
ghouls
give.
deserve love.
He has
Ghouls
so
deserve
much love in his heart to give.
Why is
And
it
if
always-
Shh, I'm talking to them. And if you want that for him, you'll comment right now saying Marius deserves love 2025.
Why is it always the incredibly stabby ninja women that everyone's like, man, I would love her to slit my
Men-
throat in my sleeve?
men have a type.
Stop nodding to that. Like,
Men have a type.
Dude, this is first off, it's rated PG-13 like show. Like, don't talk like that.
Have you seen
Who
that?
among
way
us
too
can
hot.
resist the allure of a
I
woman who would
just
almost
want-
definitely kill us in our
I
sleep?
just want a nice rogue elf woman assassin who wants me to be her girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
I see what
Marcus gets a
We're getting
girlfriend
ready to get on the boat.
2025.
And then when they get bored of this relationship, she'll just kill me.
Yeah,
Like, it's
I'm already dead. She can't do it.
She can't break.
it's the perfect pair, baby!
She can't break your heart if you are dead.
You have
An
no blood
assassin
running
and a
through
man
that.
who's already dead.
Anyways, we're getting ready to get on the boat.
This is a slice of life manga just waiting to happen.
Oh
An
my
assassin
gosh,
and a
this
guy who
needs to
can't die.
happen.
Get on it, somebody.
There
I
is-
expect fan art.
It's not a slice of
Already
life, but
exists.
there is one where a girl, if you touch her, you get really bad luck. There's a guy who can't die. He knows it. Corey knows it. So the guy,
Of course he does. Corey's a
the
huge
guy
weeb.
who can't die, keeps touching her, holding her hand, trying to get the worst luck possible, trying to die, but he cannot die.
If he wants to die, would the worst luck possible not be
A
immortality?
meteor hit him on the head.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
This
still
is like
alive.
Saitama kind of thing.
It's really good. It's just finished, actually. It's called Undead Unlock.
If you get 2 bad lucks, does that become a double negative? And like you
No.
get luck?
Lucky.
Or
Just
does it continue to
exponents.
stack up?
What's it, exponents?
Yes,
Well, okay,
the
if they were
luck.
exponents, then it would become positive. That's
So
what an exponent
you
does.
approach like a
No,
limit.
unluck is a positive number.
You know, it's interesting because
There it
usually
is.
when a guy holds a girl's hand, he's trying to get lucky.
That's the point. That's the
I love
joke.
that this is just like an extended pre-show.
Yeah.
It's like basically all we're doing. They just,
It's
all
the
we
best
have,
gift that we could give the
the
world.
best we could do for you, our
In that
enjoyers.
scene, he cut off his legs so he can rock
Okay.
himself forward.
Since we,
Yeah, sure, man.
couldn't
It's
stream.
wild. It's really weird.
Yeah, in case I don't think we actually covered it at the beginning. Our internet was out. So
Yeah, the reason
Oh, yeah,
this
this
video
could be
exists
watched
is that
not
we
on
just
the day
yeah,
that
this
everybody
is,
knew it.
Yeah, that's true. So we should cover that. This is supposed to right now at this exact moment at exactly 5:00 p.m. We should be in the twilight hours of the finale of Chapter 3, and our
I'm so
internet
excited.
had other
We
ideas.
had a long conversation.
So we all were
This guy was rolling hot.
massively pumped, hugely ready, gaming. They had just been. I don't even think that anyone at this side of the table noticed that there was a problem until like several minutes after we should have been like going and in character because they were so deep in strategizing.
I
Yeah.
got
was
here.
struggling,
I
yeah.
got here at 2:00, and I see Corey and AJ standing behind the computer, going, "We have a problem."
Well, it's because it wasn't even the internet. The internet was also really bad, but we had numerous other problems, and I think we overcame literally all of them. We fixed so much stuff
And now the internet's back.
for the internet to just die. I mean, I'm
Is
sure the
the
internet.
internet back?
I'm sure it is by
Yeah,
this
because he
point.
just looked
but,
something
like,
up on the internet.
I mean, it wasn't like out. It
Okay.
was like a 1 megabyte per second connection. So like, but I mean, it's a Spectrum fluffle. It's probably fine now. But I mean, it's too late to do anything at this point.
Everyone on Spectrum got on the internet at the same time, and it's caused everything.
So we'll do it next week.
That's okay.
That's all right. We'll have our finale. We'll still get there. But anyway, that's how we got on the river.
Got it.
That's okay because now we got a sweet little treat for everybody.
We got a sweet little treat.
And actually, to be honest with you, I didn't know a lot
Actually,
of
this
this
is
stuff.
probably really helpful for
This
Brett.
is
Yeah.
super helpful.
This is a great recap for Brett. You are our
I
audience
knew
stand-in.
roughly all of those things. I didn't think I knew you guys were bad. I didn't know about the whole cult situation. Yeesh, I don't know if I would have joined you guys if I knew there was a cult situation. But
I am the
Sorry,
cult
the cult's
baby.
basically all dead
Not
at this
anymore.
point.
I
but
am
it
the
is
cult baby.
it is answering some things for me. But
We got-
also, I knew you guys were bad, just didn't have a lot of specifics.
We did get Mellison. Mellison was the one who suggested to Lyles that he trade our memories. For
Yeah,
the
Mellison
knowledge.
Yes.
had suggested specifically you be the sacrifices. The 4 of you. It could have been anyone.
Mm-hmm.
The Mad Poet just wanted mines. And Mellison pushed you 4 out.
4 closest
And why is
friends.
Oh boy, we need somebody to
Why is that?
sacrifice our memories. Who could it be? Oh, you're right here. What if you did it?
She was jealous.
Yeah.
The reason was because she felt like she was losing control. And seeing as this entire ritual was for her benefit because she was lusting for power, she needed to get Cammy out of the picture. Cammy was starting to raise some questions. It turned out that what she had hoped to get from sacrificing Cammy's husband, a successful ritual, just really kind of made Cammy second guess the entire thing. Made her really question what they were even doing or if any of this was worth it. She knew MD was going to go with whatever Cammy said. So if she lost Cammy, she was going to lose MD. Trey was a liability. The man would not shut up, did not understand the context of company around him, would not stop drinking, and was rapidly becoming an actual problem, and was the main reason that the Sleepless Agency was any amount of on the trail towards them for the rash of disappearances.
We didn't know that.
And Easy was
Stealing her best friend.
a distraction. A very large distraction for someone that was very important to this whole operation functioning, Reese.
They're like, we need to concentrate, and he's playing the frog song.
He would not stop hitting the
I'm
frog
a
song.
threat.
We're not important to the operation.
No, I'm the coup.
So that she needed to get. She figured if she
Choose
got
the
rid
big
of
brain.
MD, Cammy, Trey, and EZ, everything would fall into place. And honestly, it did.
That we came
It
back.
worked.
And, she
And
would've
then
gotten
you
away with it,
came
too.
back.
It worked for you meddling kids.
Hey, you know what? Here's a lesson we learned from this, Mellison. If you want a job done, you gotta get it done all the way through. Don't just leave their bodies dumped in an asylum. Kill them. Slit their throats while they're unconscious.
Mellison
yeah.
was completely correct, and it 100% would have worked if you hadn't come back. But you did. And then you murdered her.
With a comeback.
And then she made the perhaps ill-advised choice to make the Voltron out of Reese to try to fight you guys by fully putting her mind in Reese's, which showed Reese all of this, which showed Reese that Mellison sacrificed the love of her life so she could keep Reese under control. And that's why Mellison's a dead body now.
Yeah, dude.
And that's why Reese's with us now.
I would say Melissa could write a handbook of what not to do.
It would have worked if you guys hadn't come back.
You should kill us.
You were complete amnesiacs, brain dead, not even conscious, in an asylum. She just needed like a month or two to put the last touches and to finish this up. There's no universe that it shouldn't have
What's
worked.
crazy is Lyles is the one that messed it up.
Well, obviously. He's the one that messes up everything.
He's an idiot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
he's dumb.
literally brought the book that had the ritual in it to Xandalis. Which caused
Which is
everything.
the fun way this circles back together, by the way, is that the only reason you guys got out is because he gave the Chain of Knights to Administrator Lissandro as the payment for just kind of, taking you guys and not asking any questions. And not tying it back to them and whoopsies.
Oops.
Whoopsie poopsies.
all
Well,
make
we gave
mistakes.
Lissandro forbidden knowledge.
What could possibly go wrong? All of Mellison's plans.
So that's how we found ourselves on a boat, traveling down the river towards Cassomir, hot on the pursuit of Count Lowell's, trying to catch up to him to, get answers seems important. But, Lowell's probably shouldn't have the Necronomicon. Just from an outsider perspective,
What, you mean you don't trust an artifact of immense power to a complete buffoon?
No, you should give it over to somebody who knows what to do with it. So I'll be taking it.
We give it to Marius.
This
No.
is the fun part of Lovecraft, is that we get to
No.
just use things like the
cult time
Necronomicon. It's just the actual Necronomicon. And I think we talked about this in the post show last week, but I'll just drop it in here for like the lore link up. The Mad Poet, like in Lovecraft lore, the Mad Poet's the author of the Necronomicon. That's why he went to the Mad Poet to find out where the book was, because he went to the guy that made it. I was like, hey, dude, can I get a copy? Huge fan.
Have you signed my Necronomicon?
You need to sign my
He's got his author signed first edition copy of the Necronomicon. And that's when he's heading down to pick up his alchemist buddy to go sort out. On the way there, first, we need to get a bunch of gifts. We figured talking to this Mad Poet might help us. Maybe he could get us our memories back. Even if not, he would know what Lowell's was after, because do you know where Lowell's is going to get the Necronomicon? You know he's going to Cassomir to meet up with
The
Miacnian.
ruins.
Library?
There's ruins somewhere that they're buried in, right?
Isn't it called the Mysterium? Or something like that?
Mysterium. He's going to
It's right here
the
in my notes.
he's going to the Mysterium
That's the name of the game.
in the city of Cathir, the capital of Kadira. But he's stopping at Cassomir, and you're hoping you can catch him there.
Beat him up.
Beat him up.
Beat him up.
Give
Beat
him
him
some
up, beat him up,
business.
beat him up, beat
Beat
him
him
up.
up about it.
Beat him up about it.
Since then, we have spent the entirety of this chapter finding offerings for the Mad Poet so that he doesn't, do whatever the guy powerful enough to create the Necronomicon would do to some people that mildly annoyed him. So we thought maybe if we give him a bunch of proven successful offerings, he'll talk to us and do anything. Our list.
Oh, yeah.
Viscount
Dirty paper.
Dirty paper.
Dirty paper wins again.
The Skull of Gold Royalty. The Greenstone Idol. He was there for that one.
Yep.
Night Hag Ambassador Heartstone. Captain's Tricorn. We were there for that one.
Yeah.
And a
Yep.
red webbed foot.
I got that. I got
You
a few.
died in one of those.
I got a, yeah. I know.
I was there too. Don't worry.
So that's
There's one that I kind of just let you guys get caught. I just
Yeah.
pretty much got him like, I'm just going to wake up.
That would have been the tricorn.
That would have
That
been
was
the
a
Tricorn.
Tricorn,
That
yeah.
was,
Historically.
that was so
and
much
then
fun.
they went to prison. But hey, at least you got to eventually kill your tormentors.
It was great.
I
You got
killed him
to
so
get-
hard, dude.
You just ran up to her and just, like a toddler,
Drug
just
down Mel with a
windmilling
gun.
their
Like a
arms.
gorilla, dude.
And it
Harambe.
worked. Somehow it worked. Somehow it worked.
I'm gonna tank every fight.
How
from
much
now.
can we pump into one gnome? If you pump all your healing and protection resources into one gnome,
She basically becomes invincible.
Yes.
That's pretty much where
That's
it's at.
kind
She's-
of what
she's like a
happened.
lobster.
I had
She's
never.
a lobster!
I could keep her.
I had never considered that if I just kept pumping myself with my buffs, that I would just not be able to be killed.
So, we're going to take
the
a
most
brief
part.
ride down memory lane here. In Pathfinder 1st Edition, if you were a GM who was playing at a table of relatively experienced people, and you were playing like a power game, because those are the only people that played Pathfinder 1st Edition, let's be real with ourselves, we played because we wanted big numbers. You had two options.
I like the character Reginald.
Game is unplayably broken, or nobody is allowed to play a cleric. Those are your two choices. Because how true that is in this does not even come close to how true that is in Pathfinder 1st Edition.
Oh, man.
When you can just give a cleric a regular stick and then let them buff the hell out of themselves and then kill God in a single hit.
That's fun.
If you give
I
the
just-
cleric a cookie.
It was bananas. So you know how 2nd edition has status bonus, item bonus, circumstance bonus, and then the very, very rare untyped that just is intentionally stacking with everything and is very scary because it stacks with everything. There's like 9 types of bonus in 1st edition. There's let me look. I'm gonna pull this phone time because I'm not gonna be able to rattle them all off because you have stuff like sacred in there. Types of bonus PF1. Alright, let me see if I can find these. Bonuses of different types. Oh, this is actually... Okay, so I just want a list of all the different types that there are. Oh, this is gonna be hard. Nope, alright, this is not
That
a
just
super
sounds like the
easy.
Pathfinder experience, though.
trying to
This
find
is
out how to
gonna
do
be hard.
anything.
This is gonna be hard.
This is gonna be too difficult.
Enchantment look morale divines his eyes.
There's a lot more than that, but that is correct. I've got great news, everybody. The AI summary is smarter than Google at this point, and it has the correct answers. So we had
Oh man.
That's scary.
we had alchemical, we had circumstance, and then there's a couple that apply specifically to armor, so I'm skipping those for right now. Alchemical, circumstance, then there was a separate kind of enhancement, there was insight, there was luck, there was morale, there was sacred, there was profane, there was size, which is
Oh my
its
gosh.
own thing. You could stack all of these. These are all different types of bonuses. And then AC in second edition is just, I'm pretty sure circumstance status. I don't think anything else, item obviously, but it's I guess the same ones. You had armor, you had circumstance again, you had deflection, you had dodge, you still had insight, you still had luck. Oh, here's a table. He found the good table. Here we go. There are a lot. There are so many.
Is profane when you say enough curse words that it actually gives you a bonus on an attack?
Profane's the opposite of sacred, and there's nothing stopping you from having both. They were like holy and unholy were types of bonuses, basically. It was truly just bananas. So you see, okay, so here's, I was going to say the problem with first edition, but there's like 100. You see how many of those say AC in the can effect column?
Oh man.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The
5,
majority.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh wow.
You see how 11 of those say AC in
Oh
them?
my gosh.
I love how one of the sample spells is just wish.
So
Yeah.
how high? Oh, because it's ability scores. Inherent is like your modifiers.
Yeah.
So quick quiz for the class. How high does your AC go if you have just a +1 bonus to AC in all of the categories that can affect your AC?
11 higher than whatever.
Plus
was before.
11. That's right. More than half of the faces on the D20 just got demoted. Like it's.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, no, the level 7, or like no 7s. This isn't power gaming. The level 341 AC Paladin was like very much a Pathfinder 1E thing you can do. The level 1 plus like 52 to stealth rogue was a thing that you could do if you were a goblin. Because between your race and your racial feat, you have a +16 right there. Like,
Oh my gosh. Wow.
1E was broken. We've played this game for years.
I have a +17 in stealth.
That does remind me of like Starfinder, like where I'd get like
I'm an expert.
Plus
pretty
3
easily do like a
stealth?
+20
I mean-
stealth, I think.
A -1 and
As a
athletics.
GM, that gets used like maybe like characters get that at like, all right, once. Then now you're like, all right, I'm just gonna up all the difficulty now.
Yeah, well, I was perception
I'm gonna
is
make
50,
something-
screw you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
This guy has 27 eyes.
I played a cleric in 2E. That's all I know. That was fun.
I've only
Alco
played
was
the
nice.
witch.
Welcome was cool.
Onko, I missed all of level 1.
If we could go back and finish, I guess we only did we've had 3 unfinished adventures. We never finished Extinction Curse, and we had the 2 that were the hook.
Yep.
We could finish one of them. I think I like the Frozen Flame. Crimson Throne's also really good.
I want to run through all the Crimson Throne.
Crimson Throne's really, really good. But I think it is book 1 is its best. I think it's like at its strongest in book 1.
I feel like there's a lot of one of the first edition Pathfinder campaigns that are really good. Like I think Iron Fang Invasion's like book 1.
That was the
so
concept behind the
strong.
hook in the first place. Is there's so many adventures that have such an incredibly good opening, and then just are kind of fine after that. And like Crimson Throne's Extinction Curse is really one. Extinction Curse is like the premier example of unbelievable banger first book. Womp womp.
So, question. So, with the way the campaign goes, is it based off of like, hey, your players need to min-max to actually succeed?
For 1E,
For either both.
2E doesn't. I mean, like there's not really min-maxing in 2E.
Second
Like
edition.
unless you're intentionally like not putting boosts in the stat that you use, there's not a lot really.
Yeah.
Because you just get like to attack rolls, you just get like your weapons. As long as you have like appropriate weapons, you'll just find. There's not like a whole min-maxing aspect to this really. It's much more constrained. Which the thing we were always saying when it first came out is it's almost impossible. Like, you'd have to intentionally make a bad character. Whereas in first edition, if you didn't make your character perfectly, you were garbage and you would never stop being garbage. What were you saying?
I was about to say, even if you intentionally make a bad character, it's still really hard to make a bad character.
The worst you can do is, like, int your core stat as hard as possible, which is automatically going to get boosted by your class. So you could theoretically get it to a 0 by playing a race that has, like, a flaw on your core stat and then just, like, not picking it on any other times. But you'd have a -4 to, like, your main rolls and DCs, which sucks, but I think that's literally, like, the worst you can do.
Every time I build out a summoner now, like when I dream up a summoner, like charisma is not my highest stat in all the boosts, because like they don't have enough spells to really make it worthwhile. So all the spells I do take are just self buffs.
Yeah, you don't need high DCs, really.
I don't need a high DC. I don't need a high attack roll. Like there's like 1 or 2 summons that go off your spell DC. You just don't take those.
I will simply not pick them. Thank you.
Yeah, because they have their own stat line. Like they do their own thing.
And everything is much more streamlined than 2e. Everything's a lot easier to build, a lot easier to comprehend. I mean, you obviously picked what might be the single most complicated class in the game.
No, I don't know
It's
what you're
like-
talking about. I mean, this is so easy.
It is the one is the hardest to get value out of, for
Right.
sure.
You just have to constantly talk with the GM on how things actually are going to go. There's things that I just don't know.
There's the way
but
you solve
do.
that. You don't pick your class.
Just don't pick.
You
Get
tell the
handed a
GM
rogue.
what
I
you
did
don't
it.
want to play.
We did have a blacklist. When I was making their characters for them, we did have a blacklist. So I polled. You were allowed to say, I really don't want to play this.
Don't want to play half a Nord.
Oh, for them.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then that would I wouldn't give you that, obviously, so you had some amount of control. You couldn't really pick what you wanted to play, but you could tell me stuff you're like, I really don't want to do this. And I'm like, all right, I won't give you one of those.
I knew I was
And
going to
then,
be
yeah.
a spellcaster because like 2 or 3 people said
I
I
said-
don't want to be a
I
spellcaster.
said I don't want to be a
was like,
spellcaster
well.
because I just came off playing
You
my
would just-
favorite spellcaster. So
You just came off Raz, and it's really hard to follow up Raz.
yeah.
You had actually given me a heads up that you thought mine was the most complicated class.
Well, because it wasn't
That was
initially.
assigned. Yeah.
Initially, yeah, because
Till I
we had
showed up.
we had
Till
a
you showed up.
rogue, a
So easy.
fighter.
So easy.
Which
Th-
also
both
was not a
those
clue at all.
incredibly
'Cause I had no
straightforward.
idea what was
We
hard
have a
and what wasn't.
bard. Bard's a very straight up caster. Witch is a little more complex. Like, it's not like it's crazy, but it is of the
It
options.
took me a while to understand. Like, obviously, it makes sense now. But when I first got it, I definitely was like, I don't really, because I was just sort of used to basic casting. Kind of.
Yeah,
On
you have like the
top
hex
of
and the
that,
sustaining
Yeah.
thing going on. which
You
is
then
weird.
go also, Brett, completely separate. You're now a chrono skimmer now, which I'm like, what the? Okay.
Coolest archetype.
You think I'm not gonna also slap you in with a random free archetype? Everyone else got slapped with a free archetype.
I
You're gonna get slapped with a
appreciate
free
it. It
archetype.
just added more things to do.
Now you're Doctor Who.
Huh?
I barely
What
ever
year?
use my archetype. My archetype barely ever comes up.
Well,
In fact, I have 2 now.
maybe you shouldn't have picked all the stuff I was going to give you yourself, and then you would have had a cool archetype that did
I
things.
like this better because it fits more with the character.
Because I was going to give you Shield and Warp Step, and then you're like, I took Shield and Warp Step. I'm like, well, screw you. Then you get nothing.
That's why it's my fault.
And then I was going to make you a Ritualist, but I was like, that's kind of boring. And you took that anyway!
Yeah.
So, like,
Because I found the ritual I really wanted to do with Sully. So
It's like, what archetype do you give to somebody who already has everything?
so now you get to just be mad. Like, you're going to be mad.
Isn't there a
not
really
even
dark
mad
joke
anymore.
about
I
that?
know now you're no longer mad. You're protective.
yeah,
You're mothering.
Oh no,
Yeah.
there's a dark side of that. I'm not gonna go down that road.
everything you wanted to give me, I said no. I don't want it.
Nah.
Too much cheese.
Nah.
Not enough macaroni.
Nah. Like, it's-
Speaking of macaroni, I'm hungry now. What?
Macaroni and cheese.
What did you say?
Not enough cheese.
So,
Too much
I
macaroni.
love cheese.
Same.
cheese.
Same.
This is
I'm-
who
escalated
among us?
so quick.
So lactose intolerant.
Me
But I'm non-practicing. At the end,
too.
at the end of the day,
Nobody
Organic.
ignores their medical conditions like a lactose intolerant person. Everyone else, every normal human out there is like, oh, I'm allergic to peanuts, so I don't eat them.
They'll
And
die.
I'm like,
You'll die.
I am lactose intolerant, and I have a giant sloppy bowl of mac and cheese. Just, It's-
I mean,
I'm not gonna poop for a week.
Oh no! Sometimes it's the opposite. It's like
that's not my experience.
all they do is empty everything. Everything must go.
We're on a boat.
You know we're at a good
getting
part of
dreamers.
the good part of the episode when we start to devolve into
Is
this.
poop jokes.
Hey, remember Cammy's
we found
torture?
it.
He's like, no, I don't want to go down this road.
We pivoted from Cammy's torture scene to lactose intolerance poops in about 20 minutes. So you know.
There's a note in my book about Millicent, because sometimes I'll just write, it'll be like a little journal entry as if I'm Cammy, and that's if I'm not paying attention like I should be, or if I'm thinking about a future scene.
Toxic best friend.
Well, that's so that I know this is about Millicent, and it just says, if she isn't going to like me, I'd rather her be dead.
And you did that.
And that's what I
The
did.
goal's accomplished.
And you know what? I called my shot.
Cammy's a go-getter. That's what she
Yep.
does. She
Alien
committed a kill.
Inside the Count's mom looks like my lay on hands.
I don't remember that, but I do know that.
What was it?
Alien inside the Count's mom looks like
The
my
lady
lay
in
on
the
hands.
attic had
Gunk
in her chest.
Oh, yeah. She had the tentacles
And then
coming
I
out of her
think it was
stomach.
described as looking sort of like the mushroom thingy with the lay on hands.
I might start playing Reginald a little more distant to you guys and not trying to get so close.
I wouldn't.
There's some weird stuff in here.
I totally forgot about Louse's mom.
Yeah, you could-
That was the alien baby inside her just slapping you.
That was a cool.
When
that
do
was
I
the
do
first
this?
Spirit blast.
It gets used.
We might not.
How do I use it?
You use it.
They don't come up probably.
But if I use it, then it's gone.
It's not a
I
consumable.
think you should just eat it.
Put
You'll find out
it
what it
inside
does.
you.
Is this poison?
You'll find what it does so fast.
Wait,
Yes.
hold on. Because I don't really know exactly how this works.
So all the unfolding cards, you
So
learn more
I
about
basically
them.
use it.
Yes, you learn
And
more about them as you.
And it's an
like,
action during
figure out-
combat?
I mean, you can try. You can certainly give it a shot. Sometimes that's worked.
How do I know if it's even... How do I know if
I
it's like a
got-
non-combat thing?
I got 2 crits in a row.
That's the neat part. You don't.
Alright. I'm going to be talking to the mad poet and just... I throw this at it. I drink this? I don't know what to do with this.
Well, it says don't open it. Don't dead open
I
inside.
found a note. Remember when we had for the first
Okay,
time
keep
that
it
we did the
closed.
dream to go find an item, we had 2 code words. And
They're breakfast.
we had like a bare understanding that maybe the order that the difficulty went, like they went in was the order of the difficulty. And I had thought that I said the first one. That's not true. I said the second one on the list. And there's a note right here that says, "Gosh darn it, wait, I forgot which code word went to which thing." No.
To be
Because
fair,
it took me a
the first
second to
two-
realize that we were in the other one.
They were kind
I
of
was
lumped.
I said the wrong word.
They were kind of
wrote
lumped
that?
together. The only
Sometimes
ones.
if I'm panicking, I'll just write it
The
out.
only ones that were
this
like
is in her
super
notes.
high level death murder
This is in her notes.
was the pirate hat is super high level death murder.
Yep.
And the red webbed foot was pretty high level death murder. But that one ended up working. Those womps are pretty mad. They're upsetty. Those womps are some angry
They
fellas.
won't hard.
They went pretty hard. I mean, you had to just cut a foot and leave. Like they're pretty mad. And then obviously it doesn't really matter when you do the greenstone idol because that's gonna be horrible regardless. That's why I was just kind of in the middle.
Like the one episode I miss is that. Like I going into that, so I had no idea what was happening when I walked in. I just like everything's going to heck.
That was a hell of a thing to walk in on, that whole party.
Yeah, I didn't
It
get
was a
the
great party.
I
Great
did-
time. Everyone was really enjoying themselves.
Talk about romance.
I was very awkward.
I didn't get the party. I got the death.
I love that we just airdropped Cammy into that.
Yeah.
She's like,
Oh no.
oh, I've never seen those before.
Oh my.
She reverts to Mickey Mouse when she's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I did not say... This is copywritten material. I did not say the mouse.
But next
Michael
week,
Rat.
Michael Rat.
Sully did point this out. We were fighting for our lives earlier, trying to get our finale up. That it just hasn't happened in a while. It's easy to forget where we came from. We've had it good for so long. We used to get this crap like monthly.
Yeah. Just
About
Starts
that we would
off.
just
At
not
least, at
get
least
to do
we
it.
drop with like the midstream drop happened a whole lot more.
Yeah, we'd like reboot and stitch them together, or like we would just be missing entire episodes because our internet was down. This happened. I think it was seriously monthly. It was a lot. So it's been a long time, really. since we've missed an episode because tech issues were so bad. In this case, just the internet being out. I can't really do anything with that one.
Less issues whenever we were doing Extinction Curse, and all of us were online with different internet providers.
You have a very spotty memory of the Extinction Curse because we lost mono constantly.
Did we?
Yes. Or mono, and it was Shemu. Shemu. We lost Shemu constantly. And we keep falling out of the call. And because the cameras that we had was me just screen capping regions of Skype or Discord, then everyone would have to leave. Zoom is what it was at the time. That's what it was. Everyone would have to leave and then rejoin in the correct order so that you would be in the right places in the Zoom call, because this is before you could just drag cameras around.
Oh, man.
I don't remember that.
Wow.
Yeah, we had to pause and do the camera shuffle like almost every week. That blew up constantly.
Well, still less tech issues. At least we're able to do a stream.
Yeah, we thought we could at least get a stream. Man, that
Our
first...
setup's kind of gaming now.
We're kind of gaming. It's a really good setup.
Straight
This
ball.
is great.
It works
It's just
perfectly.
the internet, man. We can't do anything with the internet. It's just
I don't know what your
by
definition
the power of Florida. Our infrastructure
fails
sucks.
100% of the time when it fails.
It used to be like it would storm and we knew we were going to go out.
That's just Florida.
We've made it through a couple storms
Yeah.
in Aeons not recently. Like, it's so much better now. So, we're going to come back next week and
Guns ablazing.
do it
Yeah,
again.
dude.
Yeah.
Do it again.
We're going to come
I
back
won't
out
even wash the coat.
with all this
I'll
energy.
hold off.
It won't shower.
We're not going to leave this spot.
We're not moving.
Hear
I'm gonna
that?
sit here. I'm gonna stare directly into this camera until we go live next Sunday,
I'm right there with him.
Punch the
Stare
camera.
at that one. Me and Marcus gonna stare.
which I
We're gonna
sincerely
stare at
hope
And they're gonna
That's what we're
stare.
I
doing.
haven't scheduled anything for on account of I thought we'd be on a break.
I'll be in St. Augustine.
I'm gonna cancel my vacation.
I'll figure that out when we get there. But
I got a huge
that's a
truck going to
problem
Columbia I gotta
for
get
future
on.
me.
Yay.
It's crazy because my family made
I
plans
did.
next weekend.
I did, yeah. I
Guess where
also
you're going to be.
I also am taking up a thing at work, so we'll have to move that. But that's I gotta wait to figure it out. It's fine. We'll figure it out. It's cool. It's
We'll fix it in
Never
post.
make-
Make it a word.
Fix it in
Fix it in
post.
post.
Never make
Fix it in
plans.
post.
Sorry, there's no finale today. Those of you who are watching this today, which is probably nobody, because I mean, our internet's probably we could probably put this up. I don't know when this video is gonna go up. But sorry, you're waiting a week for the finale. Hopefully, this glimpse into the absolute madness that is all of our minds, and a little bit of a recap of the adventure so far, helps kind of freshen you up for us to talk to the Mad Poet when we get there.
So many questions.
We got a lot of questions, and he knows a lot of stuff. What he can, can't, or won't provide for us, well, that remains to be seen. This has really been just a very long version of one of our post shows, more or less. So if you enjoy this kind of content, if you go over and support us on our Patreon or our Ko-fi, we do make a shorter version of this after every single show that we record. And shorter is sometimes they're like an hour. Sometimes we've had some long ones
We like to
recently.
hang
Sometimes
out.
we like it's like we're all
Sometimes-
friends or something.
Yeah.
Sometimes we even talk about the episode.
Sometimes we even talk about the episode.
One time we talked about Once Upon a Time.
So there is a lot.
I do have this growth on my foot.
There is a lot
We
more
don't
of
talk
this
about that.
Oh, okay.
kind of content for all of our supporters. But hop in our Discord. Come hang out. We got links to everything. We're all in there. You can chat with the cast. We post a lot of memes. We're all pretty active. You can keep up on the news, like the fact that the finale isn't happening on account of our internet hates us. It's a great place to be.
I like to talk a lot.
If you made it this far into a YouTube video,
Congratulations.
congratulations. That's really far. Are you subbed? Because like you should be. If you've been
If
here
you
for
like
spend,
us enough to
you've
stick
spent,
around
like 2
this
hours,
long.
man. You've been here for like 2 hours. We're just rambling. We've just
Like,
been rambling for like
hit the
2 hours,
bell.
and you're still here.
Wherever
Well,
the bell
I
is.
don't know.
Subscribe.
If
Comment,
you've been here for
comment
2
below.
hours, what are we?
What are you? Just friends or
Like,
Okay, bye.
oh, okay.
Yo, let me get him Didge.